Enough of that. Where is my strings? Remove that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Good evening. Welcome to another session here on the Chaos Rain channel. As you know, I go by the Chaos Rain here. The links to follow Chaos Rain as follow. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And please join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel. I'm looking for the many and few to join the chaos order in which the world we live in today. Join one of a few of my followers. Join me on Discord, where we can chop up, discuss, and do all things on Discord. Those are the few social medias you can follow me on. Also, if you are new to the channel, welcome to all those that subscribe to the channel and those that will subscribe in the near future. You know the drill. You hit the subscribe button, the top notification bell, and like always, leave a comment to every video out here. As you know, I like doing these things at the last moment because I had to sit back and really think hard if certain things need to be discussed. And this needs to be looked at and discussed. Now, as you know, and make sure you guys that you come in, like the stream, and share it. And I will hope to see some activity where people are going to start commenting or chatting in the chat room on this, because I think this is going to keep going on for the next couple of days. Personally, my opinion, I don't see this going away. And the reason why I say this is because when we look at the field of mental health and psychiatry and therapy, it is not only a rough business, but it's a serious business that people got to take seriously, in my opinion. And it should be a conscious effort to take anything you do in life when you're dealing with people in regards to sensitive topics of what they're going through, the pain strokes. You gotta take this seriously. How you doing, BJS? Ignore. I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna drop the link, BJS. If you could share this, I would appreciate it. If you choose to, Elder, I would appreciate it. I want to hear from other black men about this. Because personally, and y'all know me personally, I don't like to give much more attention that needs to be given any male or female, especially if using other social media outlets to, let's be honest, grow a following. But personally, in my opinion, because we as people, we don't take our health seriously and take our mental health seriously, even in regards to black men, with this woman, that what she has done, and there are many more people in the field of psychiatry that don't look and see black men's importance of their mental health seriously and take things seriously in regards to get them to the direction they need to really help their unmet traumas. You can't have people like this, like her, treating people. That's how I see it. I found articles on her, but we're gonna have to probably, well, in fact, we're gonna play some of these little video clips that add on. And I think when people go back to this, they want to see what is being talked about. So I'm gonna roll some videos. I might give take, maybe. Who knows? And then I'm gonna read the original article that she, from what I'm saying, from what I'm thinking, that she said that got her fired. So we'll do this for the sake of conversation. Let's start from the bottom up. Let's begin. And y'all see the fair use right here. You see that little finger here? Is that fair use? Good. Let's begin.
Society is already very difficult for Black people in general. And for people to call into question saying that I hate Black men is asinine to me, because Black everything matters. Black everything matters. When they see you walking down the street, they don't see a human being. They see what's been perpetuated in society. They see what's been perpetuated. But I know that these behaviors that are being exhibited are actually depression and anxiety. And unfortunately, society has taught you that anger and lashing out and fighting back is the only acceptable response.
Pause. But is it rightful for Black men to really show their exude hatred and anger in society in the 21st century? Should be the question. Because Black men does go through a lot, unfortunately. We brought the issues of the oppression, systematic racism. We deal with this, not unless we deal with these things, but it's worse enough. Well, we have to go seek actual mental help, real mental fucking help. And I want the ladies to understand this. If there was a Black man that's doing this, the same energy would be given the same way. But there's not much Black men in this field to deal with the problems psychologically about fucking Black men. Let's continue. And y'all see the side where it says fair use of nonsense.
I am pleading that y'all seek help, because women are hurting. We want you to be better. But I'm getting attacked. People are calling my employment, asking that I get fired because I want you guys to be better. Again, like I said, I apologize for my delivery. This is a little spicy sometimes. But just know that my anger and my frustration and my passion is coming from a place of needing. I need y'all to heal. I don't need it. Society needs it. You need it. Have enough pride about yourself to want to do better. I understand I might not be the clinician for everyone, but I'm damn good at my job.
So if you're good at your job, why would you create other platforms and operate and move opposite to your profession? Especially when you're dealing with clients, which majority, from what I'm hearing, her base of clients that she deals with in therapy is roughly over almost 100% men, particularly Black men. There's a question we should ask ourselves. If this is all for love, there's a way you move around in society and move as a person to show your love properly. How you doing, Alonzo? But I digress. Let's keep going.
I understand I might not be the clinician for anybody, but I've sparked a conversation. I've shook the table. If the words that I'm saying are resonating with you, please go talk to somebody. If there's a gap, fill that gap. Become counselors, become mental health professionals, so we can heal each other, so we can heal ourselves.
And that's what Black men is going to eventually have no fucking choice to do now. And I'm going to say this to all the Black men that's going to listen to this. We have Black men in social media and space that does this for a profession. I think we need to give more respect for those that's in this field, because they will only understand other Black men because they're Black men themselves, period. Now, Mary Dederer got a lot of flank about this. Well, a lot of men in this fucking space for a reason. And because this woman did what she did, and I think the old man did some work on this, that it is now a necessity now. Men need to be in these fields now. I'm not gonna tiptoe to, and really, I'm gonna be very much calm as best as possible. I'll try to limit the language tonight, but there's no guarantee because this is really serious now. We gotta be serious in these weary times we're in as a people. We always hear talk about we must get therapy. Yes, we need to get some clean bill of mental health. Mr. Sanders has been preaching this to not only the ladies, but I've been preaching about this with the men for the time he was still on this earth. And now that he's no longer here and things like this happen, not saying most black men are not going to shy away from getting mental health, get some clean bill of getting themselves checked out mentally, but it's a necessity now that you're going to have to be very careful who you're getting it from now. Let's keep playing. And let's be honest. We talk about accountability in this community. We're not serious. Let's keep it real. Let's keep going.
All that I ask is for men, black men specifically, just to build a greater awareness of yourselves.
Yes.
That's all that I ask, because your lives can improve radically as a result. Full transparency, accountability moment. I was a dusty bitch till I fucking went to therapy. I didn't realize that I was in an abusive situation. I didn't realize that I wasn't communicating effectively. I didn't realize all of these things about myself until I went and talked to someone. And I just pray and want that for you. I want you guys to feel seen. I want you guys to feel heard. Because you deserve it. All of us deserve unconditional positive regard. And I may not have shown that in the video because it's the internet. But when it comes to session, I am open. I provide a therapeutic, non-judgmental space because that's what the fuck we deserve. Because
oh, and another thing, if I want to add, as you know, she made this video in regards that she was getting reviewed right now by the board that she possibly might face termination. And she did this on her own TikTok. And she has a lot of videos on TikTok personally, because I did look for her TikTok personally. And to be honest, if you're making $90K a year as a therapist and doing some other things inside, I heard she does jewelry and all that stuff. My thinking is this: the digital footprint, how we operate through the internet, personally, has to be a lot better. Y'all forgot why and I got referred to Kevin Samuels again because one thing is evident: we gotta learn from a lot of these content creators that puts out little snippet of message to how to operate and understand how they operate in the digital world we're in now, because the world is now digital, not only globalized but digital. And you cannot move so loosely in the world you live in today. It's unexcusable. The eyes are watching all of us, regardless we're behind avatars or not. We must move smarter. We must move like we have sense, men and women, especially these dudes. These dudes don't move very well in the digital space. And that, like I said, a lot of men, it takes just a little bit to get screwed out here. How you doing? Yeah, and they did forget Joe Rogan because Mary, Joe Rogan is Caucasian. He's white. Unlike us as black people, we don't get that same forgiveness. All it takes is one mess up, and that's our ass. Let's keep going.
this society is not kind to us. It never has been. So we have to create that inner peace. And in order for you to do that, you have to be able to express things that you have been through. You have to expand your emotional vocabulary. You have to want it for you. You may not like what I say, and you may not even like me, and that's fine because you don't know me on a personal level. I get that. But I just want you guys to know that I'm not going to stop talking about these issues. I'm not going to stop talking about healing. I'm not going to stop talking about the betterment of Black people because it's me. I am a Black person who endures the struggles and the tribulations that Black people endure. I know what it feels like to be marginalized. I know what it feels like to be counted out. I know what that feels like.
Now, mind you, we all know we put up front throughout the internet and throughout our little videos, but when you find all the other videos that I'm probably going to roll out, you're going to find how what she has done. She did 180 very quick. So you know that right now. And usually, if you're really sincere, you know, like I said, it will show. But let's keep going.
So I apologize if anybody felt that I was coming at them or felt shame and anger. Those aren't good emotions to feel, and I completely empathize with that. But my message is clear. Please go help yourself. And it would be nice for my personal life to be left out of it. Because at the end of the day, I just want everyone to live safe and prosperous and healthy lives. And you don't have to endure all this shit alone.
Okay. Next one.
You guys be well.
Next one.
Here's a man has entered the chat. And you're wrong. Let's explore why. So let's see what we got here. So off on this one. I usually rock with you, but this isn't the lead reason why older men are single. But hey, go off. I'ma go off. You know, since you asked so nicely, I'm gonna go off.
Now, don't be fooled by the antics, you know, the wobble, the twerking, all that stuff. As you know, let's be honest. On other platforms, we like to reveal what we actually are. Mostly, I think TikTok, and I have my own issues with TikTok personally because TikTok, this app is designed to really water down and really reduce the attention span of people that already doesn't have a good attention span on information that really is relevant, in my opinion. I'm not saying people should not make content on TikTok, but as I look at this same app that was created by Asian people, Chinese people, that there's certain things they will never allow on their own country, but they sure as hell will, we entertain this platform will do on their platform and they'll allow, which I find it very suspect. But like I said, to grow other platforms, you need to give people what they want, and that is buffoonery, nonsense, and all forms of entertainment, which, you know, that's why people entertain these social media and these applications like IG, TikTok, Facebook, and etc.
Men are so stubborn that even a Psychology Today article that is conducted by actual researchers, you still want to argue. These aren't my words. These are the articles of research. So despite actual...
You know, you're right. You're right, Faye. But listen, you know how the sisters are. They gotta do a little shake. See, you can tell right here. That's what I love about we gotta love each other as Americans, man. It's amazing that we gotta put a little spunk to it. We gotta put a little zat to it, you know.
Statistics stating that men are actually the fuck alone because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary because bitches are not dealing with y'all horse shit anymore. Even in an article, y'all are still not believing this. I have so many clients that are leaving their partners because they refuse to expand any part of themselves. This podcast culture has forced y'all to believe that treating women like shit is the answer to getting women. And I'm here to tell you, bruh, that we're human beings and don't want to tolerate y'all fuck shit. I.e., we are okay with being childless and alone at the cost of your emotional abuse. We okay on that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of emotional abuse in the community. She's right about that.
Now, wait. You might be thinking, but wait, I'm not abusive. The definition of abuse is the intentional misuse of something. By you intentionally not taking your motherfucking ass to therapy and talking about all the things that plague you, you are neglecting your bitch. And she's not tolerating this shit no more. You know what? I even pulled the article back up. I'm gonna read this because y'all seem to not know words.
Oh, And for those that never asked why I never cover this particular article, because I, like always, I said to myself I was going to jump on anything that was been present that will, I guess, bring out some things factual about us as people or anybody in general. But as I look at things now, I have to sit back and see really when anything is written about, and really, let's be honest, psychological articles of today, where you get your blogs, they deal with people mostly as a whole. And as you know, when I looked at the article, the first thing that came to mind is the image they put up front, which is an error. If you're talking about just Americans alone, my advice to people like psychological today, do not put no racial person as the cover. Never author. That's it. Once you start putting the picture and the face of what you're writing, most people are going to assume that you're talking about these people of this group. Little game. Yeah, I see. Hey, what's good, Rain Woman? She's down talking and man, all right, yeah. Let's keep going.
Literally says, I hear dating culture themes between women of the ages 25 and 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. Y'all don't even know how to articulate your emotions. So how the fuck are you supposed to maintain a relationship? I.e., you can't. That's why you're single. Still not convinced, boo-boo. I got another one for you. Skills deficits. For men, this means a relationship skills gap that, if not addressed, i.e. in therapy, take y'all fucking asses to therapy, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities, less patience for poor communication skills, and longer periods of being single. The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeblood of a healthy, long-term, loving relationship. Emotional connection requires skills that families are still not consistently teaching their young boys. Y'all can learn this shit in therapy. That's why I keep telling y'all this shit.
Yeah, but who's the therapist that men should be seeking now? Because this should be the question. Because let's be honest, what she has done is already confirmed to a lot of males that don't take therapy seriously. It's going to push them even further away with therapy now. And this is why we are our worst enemy when we put out content outside if we're professionals in these fields. I remember her, Dr. Dunbar, talking about digital footprint earlier. And I had to go a step further. Your digital footprint is your card, your lifeline. It is what people view you now in the 21st century. Because people operate and move, how can I say this? Virtually now. We move in a more artificial space now. Humans still interact coast to coast, but now because we have technology in our fingertips, we are shy away of the interaction mostly, unless it's needed be. But overall, how we communicate in this side now is mostly through the apps, phones, etc. So you could say we are computerized beings now. And our children that's coming forth now, or that's now teenagers or adults, are even further computerized. Let's continue.
You wonder why older men go for younger women? Because older women are not tolerating y'all horse shit. But now we're seeing the gap close even more. Y'all need to stop listening to these male podcasters who are sad that their dads didn't return with the milk. Go to therapy and talk about the shit that plagues you so you can have healthy relationships. Love you, Kang. Be well.
Next one.
Fucking love it here. First off, y'all bitches is smart. This is the exact Blah. The comment says, I wish men would understand that emotional intelligence is so important because of how much.
Now, as you know, I'm not sure how therapy works nowadays in profession outside therapy. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be, using vulgar language on their own social media in a sense, talking about their therapists. I find that a little questionable. But that's neither here or there. Let's keep going.
How much clarity / security it would bring to your lives. Y'all think bitches just be talking in y'all ear just to be fucking talking. We don't.
Oh, we just said men are single because of the laws. You mean the child support laws, DJs? I don't know if you want to elaborate.
Y'all think bitches just want to argue with y'all because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary. We don't. It's to provide clarity for both us and y'all dusty bitches. Let me stop. This shit really truly irks me because when
Now, the rumor that's going around here that when she talking about dustiness and all that stuff, she definitely is paying attention to social media, particularly YouTube. And she's listened to not only the male content creators, but listened to a lot of female content creators personally. Even the word dusty and all the stuff that's given by a particular content creator, as y'all know. So yeah.
I say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary, it's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be
Faith, you might have a point. Let me see this. When will these young women ever learn that those sleeve tattoos are not sexy? To be honest with you, Faith, they won't, because let's be honest, a lot of young people, men and especially women, tattoos now are like a badge of honor, and it's some of sexiness personally, because they want to express themselves. Now, as you know, a person that got multiple tattoos, there's something more going on with them, most of some form of trauma or some form of sexual abuse, most likely, that leads to a lot of people that's, degrading their bodies with tattoos. Personally, there's nothing really spiritual with tattoos, because the body is a whole vessel. It is a perfect vessel in itself. To put marks on it, you're degrading your body. I don't care how small or big it is. If you notice, when we look at old tribal times, those things had some serious meaning why they put the marks on people. Some were to prevent them from getting enslaved by foreigners, and some could be leading to some higher being. And when I mean higher being, real higher being, not these tattoos that people do today. These are not higher being tattoos. These tattoos are for more of just for a personal reason and something that's hiding within themselves. And that's not what's really the purpose of any form of tattoos. Let's keep going.
able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men, black men.
And that's something that any person in profession should keep that in mind. Your client base is one-sided sex. This goes for sure. If there was a black man or a man generally doing the opposite and his client base is 9% women, he has to be very mindful of not only what he does, but his digital footprint. Because like I said, the eagle eye is watching. The hills do have eyes, gentlemen and ladies. But because we live in a society today that, men, obviously there is some form of consequence. Women, like her or anybody else, and she says she's a feminist, like a good portion of some women, whether good or bad reason, it's given a bad look, especially when you're dealing with your client base is 9% men. And men already have a problem or perceived notion about feminism. I'm just saying.
And specifically, and what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult.
Yes, and you're right, Faith. I was anticipating that Mr. Darrell doing some content on this, but he hasn't got a chance. So, like always, I was going to hold back doing this because I want to hear from an actual profession's point of view. Personally, because like I said, I'm not in the field of therapy or psychiatry like that, and only professionals could probably do a more thorough critique, breakdown of this, and the ins and do's and don'ts not to do if you're in this field, clinical therapy, psychiatry, and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. Let's continue. The fair use is in effect.
When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you expand your awareness of yourself. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you understand how you can navigate in this bitch. This fucking weird ass world that is so hard on y'all. Like, let's acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bruh. You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us, it's for y'all sad motherfuckers. Go to therapy, talk about that shit that's on your chest. You don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourself. And so let me sum this shit up.
Yeah, but men not could do that now because we have therapists like you, Miss. I think her name is Bree or Miss Ross. That makes content on another platform, talking the way you do about black men that you constantly give therapy on a daily basis. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but let's continue. And make sure you guys like the stream and share this. I know this, a lot of people has been talking about this, but I gotta bring my own twist, the chaos twist of things. You feel me?
Y'all told bitches to elevate our standards, and at the cost of us elevating y'all standards, y'all got axed because y'all didn't elevate either. Bitches are not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better, bitch. All right. Go in peace.
Yeah.
Worst therapist of all.
Yeah. Like I said, that was too much. Oh God. I think one thing personally, I think the internet has been the worst thing that happened to us as people. We act as a fool when we're behind the computers, personally. I know some dudes be acting stupid, some of them with their little toy guns and stuff and money flowing around, look stupid. But when you're doing all that, I mean, I don't know, man. And see, and Faith, you're an older black woman. You're not 50 yet, Faith, but you understand the frustrations and the nonsense. You see this. And where you live, Faith, you see this constantly. And sometimes I'm lucky not to see much of this, but if I do see it, personally, I keep it to myself. But let's keep going. Fair use. I got 1, 2, 3 more left. Then I'm gonna go to the article, and I'm probably gonna open this line up for all y'all for your critiques and views.
All time. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so men are very upset, which is good because anger initiates change. If you're uncomfortable by the shit I'm saying, that means you need to go talk about it. So I've been very nice to y'all. I've been saying, hey, don't manipulate bitches because like we're human beings and I have to like counsel us through that. So like, hey, just like go to therapy, talk to somebody about the shit that's like upsetting you, and maybe.
Have y'all noticed that her environment is not that organized? Have y'all noticed this, or just me? I mean, if we're gonna do videos and we're gonna show ourselves, we gotta at least clean the environment, please. Make sure the room looks nice and steady. Hell, make sure the bed looks like it's been made. Make sure your clothes not all over the place. Make sure you have no food. It has to look like we got some sense here. The world is watching us, people. The world's watching black man, black woman. And when we do these videos and we do it in the comfort of our own room, it's a problem. People look at when they see if you're an actual clinical therapist, if I can see that you're disorganizing your environment, personally, me, you can't counsel me. Oh no, you can't give me no therapy. And this applies to the same dudes. If I see you, if you're doing other social medias and you're in that field and I see your environment looks array, no, I can't sit down for $100, $200 an hour, how much you charge an hour, to sit there and hear my problems. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Absolutely not. And another thing that a woman told me this, and it never sit with me, but I'll say this in front because y'all ladies will probably relate to this if you're older black woman or whatever. If a woman doesn't keep her environment clean, once you see it or you go in as a man, most likely someone else is not clean as well. I'm just saying. And personally, yeah. Anyway, fair use, like always.
Maybe you might like learn something, and they were like, "Oh no, never, never! You're a worst therapist ever. You should lose your license." I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that I called y'all dusty bitches because y'all are perpetuating dusty behavior. For the people who are saying in the comments, mostly men, that my license should be taken away, that's schooling and a lot of tests and internships and practicum hours to earn said license, and I'm not gonna lose it because your feelings are hurt. In fact, because your feelings are hurt, I'm the perfect person for you to talk to.
Wrong. If you have mental problems yourself, you should not be therapying anybody. You gotta have your own clean bill of health, God willing, before you can sit there, counsel, and therapy others. And I'm not sure how the rule of psychology works, and I might have to call in on Deidre when he does this, his own reaction to this, to know saying how this thing really works. And really his advice that if someone else has these same problems and they're depicting themselves outside their own professional office and is found out, should people invest their time and energy continue spending money on the same therapist that sit there to resolve their issues on a weekly basis? Because other therapists don't see that they need therapy themselves. And Deidre just said that if they're doing this job, you might need that as a therapist yourself. Because this could take a toll not only on your body, but in your own mind, dealing with other people's issues. Let's continue. And like always, the fair use is in effect.
So a lot of people are like, hey, I never go talk to her because of the person who traumatized me. Things to be addressed in therapy. Now, I did say that 90% of my clientele were men. That was true at one point in time. It has shifted to mostly women now who are recovering from narc abuse. Go fucking figure. But when I was counseling the mans, we worked on emotional intelligence. The same thing that y'all guys need to work on. Like, I'm not your enemy. I never have been. The message of what I'm saying is healing. And you heal yourself, things just tend to work or function a little bit better because you know yourself and you know how to navigate through this horrible bitch. And I even validated for y'all that y'all experiences.
So you mean horrible bitch? You mean if you're counseling black men and black men still deal with black women, so by default, you're saying that dealing with another woman that considers black and she's a bitch. Is that the message you're trying to say, Miss Bree? I'm not sure. I can't say I'm confused, but come on, man. Like I said, man, it's a weird world we live in. Very strange world we live in.
Very difficult, but again, y'all refuse to see behind these ass cheeks. Let's see what else. Some people were like, oh, her delivery is off. Do you think I call my clients dusty bitches? No, just internet males who need to heal. I show unconditional positive regard. I'm actually quite reserved in session. This shit is the fucking internet. You have to be loud and expressive to get y'all attention. And I think I've gotten y'all attention.
Wrong. See, this is where she fucked up right here. Yes, this is the internet. The internet is a digital footprint. That's the difference. What you do in the professional world, you better show outside professional world you don't carry some opposite. Because I said before, the eyes are watching. Have y'all noticed the one named Andrew Tate? I covered this on the last live stream. How he was deplatformed by not one social media, but 3. And his message was problematic to the society for a man that's not from America. I think he lives somewhere in Europe, but his message stretches throughout the world by the millions, where you have young boys reciting the same talking points of Andrew Tatum. And a lot of them have not even finished high school yet, much as no. I'll leave that alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Fair use.
So now that you're here, Big Papa, I know you're upset. Let's explore why we're upset. Actually, can you tell me where in your body you might feel upset? Actually, let's do an exercise for when the PTSD that y'all inevitably all suffer from comes. It's called triangle breathing. In 3, hold 3, out 3. It might help, King, with all that aggression that you're exhibiting to me.
All right, Faith, I think she is 28 years of age. So she falls in the realm of millennial. 2 more videos.
I'd like to make a video addressing my recent video calling for men to go to therapy. Now, I will say that, firstly, I would like to apologize for the colorful language that I used, but I want to express where I'm coming from. So, as a clinician, my job is not to make people change. My job is to plant seeds and help my clients water the soil and cultivate it so they have a thriving environment to grow. That is my job. Now, from a human standpoint, I entered this field because I saw a dire need for Black mental health and Black mental health professionals, because I was not always met with support. So I apologize to individuals if you felt like my language was colorful, but I want you to know more deeply where I come from. A few people have called into question my Blackness, which is to be expected. My personhood is questioned quite often. I chose to go into mental health because only 4% of clinicians are Black, yet there's 13% of Black individuals in America.
And as you know, out of that 4%, we always got to ask, what's the ratio, or actually the gender dynamics? So that means if only 4%, we could probably say 3.5%, maybe close to 3.9% are women, and the other small fraction percent could be men, because there's not a lot of men in the clinical field of therapy and mental health, personally. Now, we can go into detail, and usually I wish the directors here will explain why most Black men don't want to go into the field of psychology therapy. To let y'all know, the few books that I remember reading that's my favorite. I know Wade Nobles is a psychiatrist. Another person that's in the field of clinical psychiatry and has an MD was Frances Cress Welsing. And she transitioned like 6 years ago. And the other guy that's no longer here was Amos N. Wilson, which is also a therapist as well. And he does teach Black men, Black women how to be therapists and how to use psychology properly before he died in 1995. Another lost soldier that is a necessity in regards to grooming the next future psychiatrist. But let's keep going. And like always, the fair use is on the left-hand side, as you can tell right there. So you can see fair use, good.
So there's already a huge disparity. And I have made it my life's work to help fill that gap. Now, where my frustration comes in is I called for individuals to do better, but then my job got doxxed. I understand that people may not agree with
my delivery or the things that I'm saying, but a major boundary has been crossed. I'm so passionate in my words because I'm tired of seeing men suffer. I'm tired of seeing you guys endure so much hurt and so much trauma and refusing to do anything about it when you guys have the power to do it. As a clinician, my job is to motivate and empower, and it came across angry and aggressive because as a Black woman, I'm also tired of being hurt.
But so is the Black man as well. That's why, you always hear these dudes talking about so they want fit, submissive, feminine. Yeah. We get it. So it seems to me a lot of these dudes don't want no aggressive women, unfortunately. From you follow ladies, you hear these dudes keep talking about all the time. Yeah. Yeah, BJ, she said the dusty dudes. Yeah. I swear, I think ladies love to insult a lot of Black men, say you are dusty. You look like dust, like something that, you just roll in a pile of shit and dirty. They sure love. I find a lot of women, BJ, since you're in the chat room, I think a lot of women had the potential or they already engaged in swippering. They're swippers. You know swipper, right? The special pad that they take with the attachment and they're able to wipe the floor and wipe all the dust out. I think a lot of ladies view themselves as the swipper because they use the word dusty very loosely. I think a lot of dudes going to have to start calling these ladies swiffers. I'm just saying, but yeah, that's just me.
I'm tired of being hurt by the very entity that I love the most, which is the Black man. I have made it my life's work, dedicated myself to encouraging and uplifting Black people, especially the Black man. But my words came across very, very spicy because you guys are dying. Whether it be gun violence, whether it be you guys killing each other, whether it be you guys killing yourselves, because you endure a lot. And I see that because I am your other half. I am your partner. I am your equal. I am not your enemy. Despite the words that I used, I want you guys to understand that my message is clear. You have to grow. You have to move and shift as a person. But sometimes you cannot do that shit alone. Men depression rates are skyrocketing. Men's suicide rates are skyrocketing. I'm not making these statistics, I'm just drawing light on this topic. Forgive me if I seem passionate in my words. I'm only passionate because I'm tired of seeing Black men die. I cannot articulate the feeling of the perpetual trauma that I have experienced, that Black men have experienced, that I am beyond tired of seeing. I have children who cry.
Now, I'm not sure what kids she has. I think they said she does have kids. I'm not sure how many. But let's say if she has a boy son. How she carries herself in this digital space, it makes you question how you carry out in your own lives personally. Can't say that the boy might be getting abused by her mother like her. I can't say that. But, if you're a therapist and this is how you view, Black men outside your workforce, a lot of things have to be questionable. And I'm more a proponent that, if you're a man and you have children by mothers, and you like to marry them, and you like to play this single motherhood with your baby mama and all that stuff, if you're a man, you better make sure if you have sons or daughters, you better be somewhat involved, because let's be honest, how our children being groomed now, if you want to leave the fate of how your children is going to be developed by the woman you choose, you're going to have to really start reevaluate that as a man personally. I'm just saying. And, I do advocate most men, if they get custody of their sons, as they get a little older, they should start doing that. It'd be better for the development of your sons. Because let's be honest, You can't have your sons be around the mother for 0 to 18 years. We know the results that's breeding. You know, I heard about son husbands, but it's getting ridiculous. But anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
In session because they wonder why their dads didn't show up to their birthday. I have teenagers who don't feel important because they didn't have someone to tell them that they love them. They didn't have that strong male support to make them feel like they're okay. And I'm only coming from a place because I didn't have that. I love nothing more than to see the black man prosper, but y'all are not. Y'all are not, and it's hurting me. So I apologize for saying y'all are dusty. I apologize for that, but my message is clear. I need to talk to someone. As a black woman, I see you. I have been there for you. I have dedicated my life to listening so you can heal the generational trauma that has been inflicted upon you since our arrival in this country. The black family has been systematically dismantled, and you're only upholding the dismantlement by not fixing yourself. I may have projected some of my personal feelings. I understand that I'm a human being, but I'm only projecting from a place of hurt. Some of the deepest, darkest things I've experienced have been perpetrated against me by black men. Mm-hmm. But I see that y'all are coming from a hurt place.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hi,
next
good morning,
one.
baddies. I hope you're doing wonderful. I'm gonna segue to exclusively us because them motherfuckers tried to get me fired, and that is like the weirdest shit in the world. So I'm going to shift my content, which it's fucking crazy because I had planned to do this shit anyway. I'm gonna shift more to art making, jewelry making, story time, art bad bitch, feeling yourself, feeling your energy, all that type shit. But I need help from you guys on like what topics you would like me to cover. If you have any questions you want me to talk about, anything like that, anything that.
What's good, Tanya, the Texan? I see you in the building. Oh yeah, if she covered, that's good. I mean, I hope it's something in regards to, you know, a woman's point of view personally. Anyway, let's keep going.
That's been on your mind, throw it in the comments so I can chat about it. But I'm also taking a break because this shit is fucking annoying. Like, I literally just started this shit just so people can heal, and that message is getting misconstrued. And I don't have time for it, so I'm about to take a break. I might go live if I fucking feel like it. I mean, this feels like a pull. And I promote mental health and wellness. And anytime something feels like a pull, I encourage y'all to like reevaluate it. So that's exactly what the fuck is about to happen with this. I came in here with the intention to help, and I'm being attacked. And I don't have the fucking time or energy, and I didn't do anything. So, I'm
not sure if that's narcissism, but she says she feels she didn't do nothing. I don't know if when we as people going to learn. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to learn. I mean, we got to be at least more conscious of what we really say. And what she's saying, she's going to shift her content from TikTok or wherever social media she puts her content into somewhere else where someone might not be able to see it. But the internet is here forever, and you have to be very wise with your words, especially if you're dealing and working with other people in regards to healing people. See, healing people should be a serious job. It's something you take seriously as a man and woman. If you're in the fields that help people, you know, besides other fields that they might look into you a little bit, but really, when we talk about healing, I mean, this should be a serious job. It's something that you don't play around with. in my opinion. But let's keep going.
I
Very useful.
appreciate all the new baddies who are here, committed to like really bettering themselves. Like I really am. Like I know I cried in that last video, but y'all are like so much more important to me. I literally started this shit like a fucking year ago. Fucking alone and just like broken and fucking dusty and not knowing what to do. And I don't know if I started this shit more for me or for y'all, but I really appreciate.
No, you did it for yourself. And the reason why I say you do it for yourself, because let's be honest, talking about the opposite sex, and this goes for either side, is lucrative. And if you do it very well on other platforms, you will grow a following. The name of the game is likes and followers. The person that has the most likes, the most followers, will get the attention and will win. That's how I see it. Let's keep going.
Appreciate all of y'all. I really do. So I'm about to just back again. I really appreciate y'all. And I appreciate y'all for supporting and sticking around and shit. But I'm fucking tired, so if I'm back, I'm back. If I'm not, who honestly gives a fuck? But I want to send positive intentions your way and shit. And I love you guys very fucking much. Very much. And just keep being great. Alright, I love you, baddies.
And the final one.
It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence, and I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted Massa.
Master. She said master. Whew. you know, I find it interesting with a lot of our people, we like to refer to certain things. Yeah, master, yeah. They like, you know, snitch on master, that's the norm nowadays, personally. Where's the article? Hold on, guys. Is this the one? Nope. BLL. Hold on, guys. Let me cancel this. Oh, shit. Let me keep playing.
That's exactly what happened. So first the post goes viral on Twitter. Cause y'all need fucking help. And y'all wanted to argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we starting a discussion on mental health, and people are, you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, you know, shaking the tables, I don't give a fuck. But then it turns into this entire...
Before I continue,
of attacking a black woman who serves the fucking black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her, cause I told y'all to be better? Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a fucking black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman can't fake kind of fucking...
Hold on, let me see. Now, I'm not sure if this is the article she's talking about. And this is the only one I could find. This was written August the 19th, 2020. Now, I think she got fired on the 20th. I believe. Well, let's look at this article by the National News. Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding black men over therapy. Black Twitter blew up this week after a therapist posted a TikTok discussion of black men and how they perceive therapy. Shabri Ross, a black female clinician with over 153,000 followers on the platform, uploaded a video on August the 13th talking about how black men need to expand their emotional vocabulary. So at this date, she had up to August the 13th, she had 153 followers on TikTok. Do you know what the follower number right now is? Right now, people, it's over 250,000 followers on TikTok. It's gonna be very difficult. I gotta see how big the file is, Fave, because how I'm able to extract this. I had to get some, manipulation, but that's neither here nor there. But let me keep going. All right, let's keep going. Y'all think, hold on. Y'all think these bitches just be talking in y'all ears just to be effing talking? We don't, Ross said. Y'all think these bitches just want to argue with y'all because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary, provide clarity for both us and y'all dusty bitches. The TikToker expand that 90% of her clientele are black men and expanded one emotional vocabulary is meant to make their lives easier. She said that there are no need to choke down your emotions and the lack of emotional availability can push away intimate partners. This is written by Zora Anderson, and I'm not sure if that's the woman that she showed the picture of. Looks like it could be her. Going down. This effing weird ass world that is so hard on y'all, like to acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bro, she said. Bro. You're not with the BITCH and are telling y'all to go to therapy. It's not for us, it's for y'all sad mother effers. Go to therapy. Talk about that that's on your chest. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourselves. Upload Ross TikTok, Paramount Gold, upload Ross TikTok Twitter, and some users fired back at the therapist for a delivery and tone deaf message. This is such a dangerous pop culture articulating of black male mental health issues. A user quotes tweets pathologizing and speaking down on patients struggling to find words for trauma is not best practice in any lecture I've had read. This shaming tactic is why many black men don't pursue therapy, which is right, which is true. I was waiting for her to share some examples of emotional vocabulary to add to a personal arsenal, but it never came. So even though I know you don't ask me, I think a good practice is to empower people with information instead of what she did, telling black men to expand their vocabulary and shame is very different than creating a safe environment for them to explore their feelings. Every therapist I had been affirmed, caring, gentle. This clown is none of these things. One by Professor T.J. Curry, PhD. I think that's Tommy Curry. Oh, snap. Okay. This is such a dangerous pop culture articulating black from trauma best. Oh, so that was Tommy Curry that wrote that. Okay. Robert L. Reese, PhD. I've been going therapy every week for almost 10 years. I'm a huge advocate of therapy for men. This is by Robert L. Reese, PhD. It has been extremely helpful and is better for it. Every therapist I had has been affirmed, caring, and gentle. This clown is none of those things. Don't endorse this shit. Another person, right? By Mike, I think. What would you recommend as a good practice so that I could check myself and make sure I'm not doing the same when I'm trying to help others? by Jasmine, and this woman could be Caucasian, look like it. While I was watching the video, I was waiting for her to share some examples of emotional vocabulary to add to a personal arsenal, but it never came. So even though I know you don't ask me, I ask, or I think a good practice is to empower people with information instead of what she did. Okay. Other jumped Ross' defense, like one user say, you might not have liked her delivery, and she ain't got to call women bitches, but I don't know how y'all screw this to say she complaining about black male clients. She clearly telling black men to go the F to therapy and stop holding shit in when the world is already so hard on you. Another person tweet this. She held black men to task to improve your quality of life. And because dignified and respectful, y'all want her license revoked, make it make sense. Men talk crazy as F to each other, but the moment a woman throws a few coarse words at y'all get sensitive. Someone wrote, regardless of what she said or how she said it, everybody needs therapy. You need it, point blank, period. Go better yourself. And one person, get her Jade. You might not have liked her delivery. She ain't got to call women bitch. But I don't know how y'all screwed this to say she complained about black male clients. She clearly is telling black men to go F therapy, blah, blah, blah. What's this written? Going down. All right. And one person by L. Pernora. Men talk crazy as fuck to each other. Woman throw a few curse words. Y'all get sense. I think I read this already. Let's keep going on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's going to be chaos. Indeed. All right. Well, you know, Faith, that's one thing I've noticed with social media. You can easily make a living if done right with the right following. You can live off social media. And it's proven evident for a lot of people that's either new content creators or ones that are starting to be content creators. If you grow following very fast on certain platforms, you could live off that. Because certain platforms like TikTok, from what I'm hearing now, I hear women can make, or men and women, if they do it right, they can make 6 or possibly 7 figures on TikTok now. It was not possible a year ago, but because TikTok now has 1 billion users, people now monetize and is making a living doing TikTok. Okay. So let me finish this up.
And she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spin my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only did she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result. Here are a few of them, just to name a few. Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding men to go to fucking therapy. Y'all attacked me and got mad at me because I wanted better for y'all. That's the most crab in the barrel bucket type bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Actually, no, because many people got caught on their jobs when some people did not feel what they said or they attacked someone inappropriately. It has happened. We call it doxing. We call people stealing people's information and use it for the public so someone can get at them. This is not something new. As y'all know, people on YouTube, rather black or white, let's say the black sector side of things, it's getting very weird and shitty how we deal with each other in the digital space. If we were in real life, the way how we move will not be moving the way we are now. But because we're behind a computer, a tablet, a smartphone, your iPhone, what's the latest version, iPhone 14 or 15? We talk crap towards each other through these electronic devices and think we are safe to go back home or do something and nothing happens to us. But let's be honest, there are people now that is so advanced, and some people have backgrounds, they're able to find information with a snip of a finger. I don't know how they do it, but they do it nonetheless. And it is whack. But let's be honest, fake. This is where we live in today. So your digital footprint is very important. Let me finish this up, and I'm gonna drop the link.
A plethora of black men decided to take it upon themselves to call my employment to get me fired. You succeeded, but you succeeded in not the way that you think. If it's one thing about black women is that we're incredibly resilient. This just cleared the table to give me space and opportunity to educate the masses while shaking our asses to healing because y'all got mad because I wanted you to do better.
Yeah, I don't know about the shaking your ass. I mean, you just devote the whole message when you said we're going to keep the message and shake our ass. If dudes are watching, they're going to be focused on more of the ass than the message. I'm just saying, sweetie. I'm just keeping it real. Keep it 100. You feel me?
Told they consulted with shareholders and decided to terminate my contract because I told y'all to go to therapy. That's the world we live in.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all the information. Let me see who's in the chat room. I think it's time. Yeah. I think it's time to open this up. Yeah, we're going to have to open this up. Oh, and I let me put the support for those to support the stream. Let me find it. Where is it? All right. So now the floor will be open for all those to give their opinions, their views, all the above. Chaos Rain wants to hear from you. I'm hoping this will go smooth. We're going to have some men on here and we're going to have some women on here. And let's be honest. Let's have this conversation as men and women. Let's be fair on here. Or let's be honest what we want to say, what we feel. This is Chaos Rain. And like always, the chaos is going to be extreme tonight on this. I said what I need to say about all this personally. I think that if you're a person and you're in any field, especially dealing and working with people, clinical psychiatry especially, you need to be smart. You need to move a little better. Not only for the ladies now, but also the men. And you know, obviously the men, they have no choice but to move very much smart. That's why you see a lot of them don't really go as hard as they willing to do, regardless. As I know. But personally, some things like this, if you're doing this and you're on social media, you do not respect your digital footprint, in my opinion. And the reason why I think why that is because let's be honest, a lot of us, we don't view any consequence of our actions, the men and women. So we feel we could just run our mouth on social media, threaten violence towards other people, doxing others, yes, and there's no serious consequences. Now imagine the internet now decides to say that you're going to only have to show what you are, what you look like, but other things to the public. How much of this behavior you think is going to last? As you know, with the gentlemen out here, they talk about women and go extremely hard for a reason. That only going to go so far on this website. But as you know, from what happens to Andrew Tatum, how he was easily removed. And I said this before, and I'll say this again. He's no Kevin Samuels. And trust me, Kevin Samuels says some off-the-wall shit at times as well. But because he's more cautious with his words, and he's an image consultant to the way, and he does have a business, YouTube, in my opinion, and it's just me, the reason why they allow it is because he is somewhat brings a need and solves certain problems. If you go back to a lot of his old material, he teaches you how to use fragrance, cologne, how to put on a tie, dress, etc. He meets the need. And this is something I got and understand from Mr. Let Go, that how the algorithm works is if you're in the field and you're fulfilling and solving a problem and doing it very well while showing yourself, most likely, the algorithm will be favored to you. That's how it's supposed to work, allegedly. But anyway. Yeah, that too. But anyway, first lady that comes up, the Faith Factor. How you doing? And make sure you guys keep liking the stream and sharing this. And yeah, what's good, Faith? What's on your mind? What's your views and opinions?
Good evening, Chaos. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you wonderful.
All right. Well, this was an excellent stream. I've been seeing a lot about this all over YouTube and social media. I saw the original video, and let me tell you, my first thoughts on this was I was cringed. I cringed at the language that she was using, but I didn't detect any lies that she was telling as far as her message. Now, the way that she gave her message, I don't agree with, but the message itself, it was absolutely on point.
Okay.
And I think that, people are just the fake outrage, people sitting up here, trying to say, oh, she wasn't professional and she needed to just, be a little bit more empathetic. And I can't believe that she's actually counseling Black men and this is how she really feels. She didn't say anything really derogatory towards Black men. She was basically, I would say, not doing a really good job and not being professional, like people said, in communicating her feelings. But she's like out of the office. She's in a relaxed environment in her home. So I don't think that she was thinking that she had to be professional, in her own home online. So, I just wish that people with the fake outrage, that they would just, stop it already. When since did Black people care about professionalism? I mean, we had a whole senator from Rhode Island. What was her name?
I don't know her name, but she was twerking, and they said she's part of the he she movement. You get me?
Yeah. She was twerking and doing all of this other stuff. And I even heard some men saying, "Oh, I don't see a problem with it." I think it was who was that? Yeah, they didn't see the problem. That nobody was outraged about her not being professional. And I mean, she said senator, whatever her name is, so to me that wasn't professional. But how come they didn't try to get her fired?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what she looked like because I didn't really investigate. Yes, Deidre, come up. Yes, the man I need you here, Deidre, if you come up. He said, yeah, Trump was unprofessional. I'm not going to. Anyway, yeah, like I said,
Deidre, we gonna fight. Don't be talking about Trump now.
My thing is this: if the dudes didn't really, and I know some dudes had words about the senator from Rhode Island, regardless. I think because she looks a certain way and she did what she did, how some dudes are fade. As long as you're shaking that booty nice, they're gonna ignore it, man. They look at her, she's not too fat. Well, I know she's too fat. She's so peeling to away, they ignore it. But I gotta bring up the man, the one that will solve the red pill issues in the Black sector of YouTube. The one only Deidre. He is your red pill therapist.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Deidre? We gonna fight now. Don't be messing with my Trump.
Oh, okay. I hear you. I'm gonna say this, and I got a video. I was gonna drop it today, but I ended up being consulted for some reason. Everybody wanted me on their panel about this topic. I just left Obsidian's panel talking about this. I was on Kwame Brown's channel, and they rotated. That sector had my video playing over some stuff going on, and so forth because of my my stance on it. And I do agree. I agree with Faith in the perspective of she was in her own home. It's not a place to be. You can be the way you want to and say whatever you feel in the privacy of your own home and things like that. However, unfortunately, Faith, in mental health, it don't work like that. Unfortunately, this is where she went wrong.
Okay, I gotta hear this. I've been waiting to hear your side of it.
Yeah, see this because the thing about it, people have attempted to take my license for doing some of the similar stuff that wasn't even counseling related.
Yeah, and you have a whole firm you control.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
me?
So this is I'm looking at it from two perspectives, Faith. I'm looking at it as a therapist, and I'm also looking at it as a person who owns a clinic that has therapists that work for me. If she worked for me, and 90% of her clientele are men, and you speak in reference to those men and how they function in therapy, that hurts my business. Why would they want to come to my and they watch that video? That hurts my business. And see, yeah, from my own perspective, she has the right to feel whatever way she wants. Yes, there are a lot of black men do. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of black men are hard headed in counseling, and they are difficult. They can be, but then there's also those that don't. So she spoke from a majority perspective. If she would have spoken about any other topic, I would have no issue about that, and I wouldn't think because she's a therapist that limits you to have an opinion. But because she spoke exclusively about the profession itself, particularly her clients, that's a cardinal sin in our field. And I understand she didn't mention anybody's name or anything like that, but because of the fact that she worked for this employer, and obviously they have a large, I assume because she has 90% black men that's on her caseload as far as in our practice, they
That's what
probably
she
have a large.
said.
Yeah, that's what she stated. That would be harmful to that company's image. And I don't think she should lose her license or anything like that, but I do think she should have been fired for that.
Really?
Yes,
Fired?
yes, she
Wait,
should
wait,
have been
wait, wait, wait.
fired for that,
Hold
Faith,
on.
because you can't talk about your case, you can't talk about your clientele in a manner in which they're like I'm giving an example, Faith. Number one, she called them all kind of curse word names, which was to me was you can't do that. Number two, when people come to therapy, they come to therapy because they need help with things. You can't criticize them for what they need help for. If let's say all those black men are unable to communicate right effectively with females, which is a big problem with black men. I'm not saying it's not a problem, but you can't try to dehumanize them and speak disparagingly about them about a problem that they're seeking you to help them with. You can't do that. That goes in how in therapy itself, in a therapeutic relationship, there involves trust, there involves openness. You harmed your trust in your relationship by basically telling me that you fools, whatever the crazy stuff that she was saying about y'all need to get therapy so that you can learn how to communicate with women. Some of those guys may not even have problems with women. Some of those guys may have problems with other people in their lives besides just personal relationships. I mean, she spoke in a very majorative way about people that are seeking her for help. You can't do that. That you can't do. She knows better. I'm going to assume she knows better, but she got into her feelings. I actually think she was speaking from her own personal issues that she mixed into this, and you shouldn't do that. I never, whenever I talk, I could talk about any topic and say all kind of crazy stuff. But if somebody asks me about some mental health stuff, my whole presentation will change, and I will speak. And I don't mind answering questions, but if it's anything mental health related, I will not be all theatrical saying all kind of crazy. I'm going to speak strictly as a therapist. Now, if you want to talk about something else, I'll go back to acting and doing whatever as a content creator, because I understand that even as a mental health professional, and yes, I understand YouTube you shouldn't have to be that way. But unfortunately, the perception from the viewers, and then particularly if you do something that's unprofessional, unethical, they don't see it that way. And I'm just going to be honest with you. They don't, because I've had to spend money on YouTubers trying to take my license.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And not only, you know who YouTubers were the ones attacking most? The men.
Yes. Yes. So I get it. I get it. She should have the right to say whatever she wants. But when you're talking about your own profession that's dealing with people, you can't in any way say disparaging things about your own clientele that actually seeking you for the very problems that you act like they should automatically just have. I mean, we don't know. Some of these guys may have that vocabulary is low because they may have intellectual deficits. They don't have there's a big issue with black men not reading on grade level and so forth. There's tons of issues that can be looked at. And in regards to them making that decision, they felt that she was bad for business. Basically, she was bad for business.
Yeah, D. Darrell, you brought up a
Wait,
good point, man.
before you
So,
continue, hello.
uh-huh.
I know people are liking the video, and that's cool. I like that. For people to share it and interact in the chat room if y'all can. But please donate, people. Normally the channel will grow the same way, but contribution will go a long way. So I put it there, the donation thing, the cash app that's on the screen. So please contribute. All right. Before you speak, Alonso came up first. What's good, Alonso?
Okay. What's going on, gentlemen? I actually wanted to kind of piggyback off of a little bit of what D. Darrell was saying. I like to look at things from multiple perspectives. And when we're looking at the psychology of especially dealing with the African American community, with dealing with things like therapy in the first place, you're right, it already does have a negative connotation. I think it's dangerous, however, to think that initially she was talking about her clients when she's telling Black men to go seek help. It could have been the exact opposite in the fact that Black men have come to her for help and they aren't acting in the quote unquote dusty ways that the perception is for a lot of those who haven't gone to counseling. It's just a different perspective to look at it. And I'll give you another example. I was talking to a friend of mine about my own content, and I was like, it seems like whenever I post an advertisement that's positive, there's crickets. But as soon as I say, you FNs, this, that, and the third need to get your S in order for I got, obviously there's going to be the trolls. Oh, you shouldn't advertise like, but it at least gets interaction and it gets some traction. So what my friend was saying was, yeah, you know what? In order for us to really listen, you kind of got to tell us how bad we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Unfortunate.
Just a little perspective. That's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, okay. and I'm gonna say this, and I know someone else is here, but she's gonna bounce back. I think this can be a learning experience for her. Now, if she was in private practice or working for her own company, this probably wouldn't be as big because she's self-employed. But if you're working for a company like that, you can't do it. You can't do that because if she had her own business, then it would be up to the consumer to want to seek her services at her own business. But when you because I know if she would have done that, I'm gonna be honest with you. I fired people for doing stuff on social media. I had a lady working for me that took some crazy pictures on Instagram that were totally inappropriate. I'm talking all kinds of stuff. And in one of the situations, she took a picture in front of my building.
Oh wow!
Wow! What the hell?
Yes, that happened. Yes.
Please tell me this was not a sister.
Yes, it was. It was a Black woman.
Oh God!
Because see, this is the thing. People try to get on me, but most 60 to 75% of my employees are Black women. Most of my employees are Black women. Most of the therapists that I've trained as a supervisor were all, and that's why it kind of hits home with me because I've trained at least 20 to 30 counselors. And I'm gonna say at least 20 of those counselors out of that 30 were Black women. I've only trained one Black man as a therapist in my whole career. And so I know what a good Black therapist, female therapist looks like, how they care. And most of my friends that I have in the field are mostly Black women because this is a female orientated for the most part, dominated field. There's not a lot of men in this field. It's
Mhm.
mostly women, and
Mhm.
it's not a lot of black people in mental health as therapists. And that there are more, I'm gonna say there's about maybe 5% more females. No, I'm gonna say about 15% more black females than males. And so for a black man in the field, you're like the minority of the minority. And
Well,
so
Darrell, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but this is even more the reason why this fake outrage and this cancel culture that we have of people doxing people and getting them fired. This is even more why this is such a terrible crab in the barrel mentality that we have. And it was black. It was a black woman that really, really spearheaded this whole thing against her, because it was a black woman that put out the article with her government name,
right.
with the name of her company. I
I
mean,
don't and
who
I
does
don't agree
this?
with
You
that.
got to understand, she did kind of shoot herself in the foot because she did brought her personal feelings and her personal issues on the job place. Something these people should never do. They should never mix their personal life on the job site with their profession. If she would have, it ain't what you do, it's
But
how
she
you do it.
wasn't.
If
She
she,
was
if
not
she,
on a job site. She was at home
it's
on her
still her
personal
profession.
internet.
She has a profession. That's mean that's her job. She brought her personal issues on the job place. She's a profession. She could be working at home. She could be working at home. She's still on work. She's still on the job place because she's working for somebody. Like I
Yeah,
say, it ain't what you
I
do. It
don't
ain't what
agree
you
with the
do.
doxing. I don't agree with
I
people
don't agree
doxing.
with it either. But if she
But
would have left out some of
however,
the
my
sarcasm,
thing is you
yeah.
can't talk about your own clientele in that manner. You
Yeah.
can't do that because especially if you're working for a company that makes a living off that clientele.
Back to me, back to bring your personal issues on the
black
job
man, but
place.
what black woman would want to see a therapist talking like that?
If she would have left out some of the sarcasm, it would have been, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. If she would have probably left out some of the sarcasm, all the dusty remarks or whatever, I think people would have took it so harshly and so offensive. But like I say, people should learn how to detach their personal issues from home and from the workplace, because you know what, YouTube is the detrimental to black people. And I'm gonna say this again, man. YouTube is one of the destroyers of black people, because all that old dusty remarks she just made, that's that you know who that came from. If she would have detached her personal issues, like you said, D. Darrell, she would have detached her personal issues, her personal problems from her workplace, none of this wouldn't even came about.
Right. I mean, again, I don't wish nobody lose their job. I get it, but I mean, just for me as a professional, I look at it from a different perspective, because I'm gonna be honest. If I had a therapist that did that, I would have fired him. Like, you're not about to, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I want y'all to understand my clientele, people that that there are people who look me up through YouTube. There are people who actually looked me up and saw some of the stuff. They actually thought that a lot of stuff I do is funny and stuff. A lot of clients, particularly mine, they didn't have any issue with the kind of content I did. But see, I kind of reference everybody. If you want to see more of me just strictly talking about mental health, I strictly go to my Life Solutions channel. Strictly deals with mental health, and it's not about other crazy stuff that I like to talk about on YouTube. But you can't talk about your own clientele in that manner. You can't say that. You can't. That's just like me having a client who's depressed, and then I talk about, why are you coming to therapy all sad? Why don't you do something to become more happy? You can't say that.
But I attributed to that young lady. She's quite young. I think Chaos said she was like 28.
Yeah, she's 28.
Yeah.
She young.
But that ain't that young, but it's young. But
yeah, it's not that young, but it's late 20s. But like I said, how I look at it, you have to carry yourself a certain way. And like I said earlier, digital footprint is very important in the society we live in now. We're not like Asia, China, where they have like a social credit and all that stupid stuff, where they take it real serious. Imagine America gets to that point, and a lot of people are gonna be screwed. You know what I'm saying? How we operate in this country, with our mouths. You know.
Yeah, nobody didn't know. Nobody didn't know. See, I don't know nothing about the psychology profession. I don't know that you had to keep your clients confidential. You know, you can't go there with your profession or whatever. The average people didn't know that, so they was like, "Why she get fired? Why she get fired?"
Well, she didn't mention any of her clients' names. She just, mentioned a demographic of clients that she works with. And I don't even think that she mentioned her employer.
No, she didn't mention them. She didn't mention. She basically, what she did was actually HIPAA compliant, because she didn't mention anybody's name. She didn't mention first or last name. She didn't mention her own client. I mean, her own work, the company itself, and so forth. So yes, she was confidential. She just was unprofessional.
Right.
That was the problem. And yes, and my thing is, again, like I told everybody on the other panels, if she would have spoken about sports, she would have talked about celebrity gossip in this manner, this would not be an issue with me. But because she spoke on her own clients, that to me was not appropriate. That's where things cross the line.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, there's certain ways you have to move in the internet, and I think a lot of people have not still get it, regardless of you're a man or woman. They're watching, and a woman, like I said, a new woman, saw her content on TikTok and found that she's a therapist, and said, I'm going to have to do something about this, and wrote what she's doing on another platform. And she went all the way to do some deep research, and she shared that in the last video I showed y'all right there, who did it, So personally, I mean, my thing is this, that because she got this profession, it's hard for me to see anybody strip people of a license that they work hard for, especially in therapy, either man or woman. So for people said that her license should be removed, I mean, I don't know if that's possible, but I'll say this: it's a bad look if you're trying to seek other employment. And let's be honest, if you didn't know Dee Durrell, I know you said that it said she was making roughly said $90K a year, not including the taxes, probably made $80K, maybe possibly. That you're making this amount of money and you're doing other things on the side. And if you do other things on the side with this profession, you gotta move even extra careful. If you're gonna be doing social media in a humorous way, you're gonna put in a way where you're not, I guess, offending your profession in a way, especially certain clients, regardless of saying their names or not. Because let's be honest, we as people, we don't take therapy seriously. We don't seek it, especially with us men, because it's not really look favor to us dealing with institutions of health. Not saying we should still deal with it, because where else are you going to go as a black person, black man? I mean, you're going to for white coats anyway. Yeah.
For me as a black woman, what really was disappointing to me is the fact that she used all this terrible language and the way that she was carrying herself. She's supposed to be a professional. The same way I was really disappointed with the senator from Rhode Island. There's a lot of black women that do put their professional occupations on the line by acting a straight butt online. I don't know what it is when they gave us the internet, but for some reason or another, we don't have a on and off switch. And it's really, really terrible, because we have a lot of black female professionals out here that are just looking terrible as a result, just horrible. I really wish that the younger generation of women would learn also, because I saw that she had all these tattoos on her body. Those sleeve tattoos are just not sexy at all. I don't even know why these young women go and get that sort of stuff, and then she's online, she's using all these terrible words, she's barely dressed. I understand she's in her house and everything, but these are things that kind of stood out to me in the video as well. Like I said, I don't think that it was worthy of her being fired. I think maybe suspended, for a little bit of time, because she is young. She probably hasn't been in the field that long. These are things that probably should have been taken into consideration, but I would not have fired her.
But being the age that she is now, That's why they'll go back to like you said, the internet is very influential. Being the age that she is, she grew up in that YouTube internet age. So she had all kind of influence and all kind of things that influenced her when she was young. So you're right. I do agree with you, sister, on that.
But let's say it's further. As you know, social media or influencer of any platform, I'll tell you a little secret. Once you start touching roughly 50K on any platform, you're by default, and they don't really say this, but I'm going to say this, you're actual official influencer because you're only halfway of 100K. And once you get 50 on your mark, on your belt of actual followers, you're influencing somebody out of that percentage. So this woman had 153 in August. And now she has roughly 250,000. So either if she's able to pursue any further career in this, it's irrelevant because she's already monetized and making, and she's probably could move on to better things, And she's gonna be linked up with other so-called content creators to express, her opinions further, But I see somebody here. Is that Big Truck? Let me see. Yeah, it's Big Truck. Oh, Big Truck. What's up, Big Truck? I think it's the first time you're on my panel.
Yeah, it is. In fact, you were in my suggested. Good evening. How are you?
Oh, that's what's up. I told you. You know what I'm saying? Getting there. But what's your take on this, Big Truck? Because you work in finance and you wouldn't understand regards to professionalism. The floor is yours.
Yeah, well, I listen. I agree. The last two gentlemen that speak, I don't know exactly what their names are.
That's D. Durrell and Alonso Hall, and this is Dante. But D. Durrell is more. You remember D. Durrell, so you might know him.
Yeah, Durrell. I think he's in mental health.
Yep.
Yeah, well, basically, when you've got clients, it's just like me. I already know I can't use their names to make anecdotes. I can't talk about them directly. But, because I own my own business, there's nobody who can actually fire me. But I do understand that if word got out that I was making fun of my employees or if I was making fun of my clients, that a lot of people would not want to do business with me. They wouldn't trust me. And one of the worst things that I see is, there's, especially when you start putting these social medias like TikTok and YouTube and Instagram into it, a lot of people, I don't know, it's like they don't have the common sense to wonder whether or not that this could come back at them. And she, like, I'm looking at her, she's in a nasty room. Her room's a mess. Her clothes a mess. She's like mentally, I think that girl needs therapy. And the thing, like, I think she needs therapy, and she damn sure gonna need it. Like after the bills start coming and she can't pay them. But no, there was
her bills gonna be covered, Big Truck. Trust me.
Well, it's one thing to say they can be, but the other question is, will they be?
I mean, that girl making good money for her age, man. If you estimated her income at the like you did, Chaos, for her age, she making good money.
Well, how much did you estimate she's making?
I don't know. I mean, Chaos
she got fired.
What's the rumors floating right now? They said that in her profession where she's at, she's making roughly 90K.
Well, she got fired.
What state is that, Chaos?
How much is she making now that she got fired?
She probably making zero.
Exactly.
Chaos, what state is that in? Because I could tell you based on the state.
That's a good question. Damn, I gotta Google.
Because certain states pay different. I mean, most therapists that I know don't make 90K that work for another company.
I will have to assume she probably
unless you're in LA, unless you're in California and New York, New Jersey, maybe some of the East Coast cities, big cities, you may make 90K, but for most states, the average therapist probably making between I'm going to say 65 and 80.
Okay.
On average.
Well, I would say Midwest or West Coast. Midwest, West Coast, most likely she resides. I'm just guessing, but that's what they said, how much she was making.
Yeah, but now she got fired, and now she's going to have trouble getting another job. So the question is, was it worth it? And the answer has to be no.
Big Truck, I'll do something better. She made a plea on a few TikToks because she knows she was getting review on this. You get me?
Right.
And what she did. So obviously she didn't want to lose the job. Let's be honest. No one's going to lose the
Yeah,
work.
no, she didn't
And
want to lose
nobody,
the job.
but you gotta understand,
No.
nobody was gonna keep her because it's just like your man said. First of all, black people in general don't take psychotherapy and psychiatry. We don't take mental health seriously enough. So now you've got somebody who's literally showing you that if you do show up to one of these things, that they're just going to make fun of you later on TikTok. So there's no
that's
business.
a bad look. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. That's like if you were a teacher and you were sleeping with the students or something. It's like nobody's going to take that. You violated the ethics. Or if you're a doctor and you're hurting people, it's like nobody's going to take you seriously. And the problem is because they employ her, that would hurt their business. So there was no way they were going to keep her. And then if she tries to reapply for another job somewhere else, most of those jobs, they're going to look at her and be like, hey, wait a minute, aren't you that one from that TikTok? And they're not going to want to hire her. So no, she ruined herself. And this should be a clear and present warning for anybody, because you've noticed since pandemic, a lot of people have been jumping on YouTube and they've been playing talk show hosts, and they getting doxxed by their next door neighbor. They've been getting doxxed by people who know them. It's like that should have served as a warning by now. You know, it's like if you can't talk about your clients, and if you're in a position where you don't have job security, you can't just say any and everything you want to say. See, it's one thing if it's the Congress who can't make laws against you. It's a total another thing if you're talking about private companies and you're talking about these internet social medias. They don't have to allow you free speech. Congress can't tell you can't do it, but the rest of these companies, they're not having it. They're just not having it, nor do they have to, because you signed a contract of ethics with them. So no, she deserved to get fired, and her firing should be a warning to anybody who comes after her too.
Hey, D. Durrell, did she get her license taken, or did she get fired from the job?
She just got fired from her job. I don't think that her behavior constitutes losing her license. I don't think, because that was no real. Well, I can't. Well,
she
because
didn't violate
say anybody's name. She didn't cause any harm to anybody per se. So it would be difficult, even a suspension or anything like that. I would doubt that a state board would levy a sanction on her based on that. But me personally, and dealing with situations like that, I don't think her behavior warrant losing her license, but it definitely warrants her losing her job.
I'm just disappointed in black people. Like, when are we going to stop with this crab in the barrel mentality that we have towards one another? I mean, why do we always have to go for each other's livelihoods because we disagree with one another?
Because what you did was you broke the ethics that you claimed that you were going to uphold. It would be like if there was a doctor and you found out that he's operating on people and he's having fun hurting them. No, you violated the ethics. That's not crab in the barrel. That's professionalism.
No,
that's
I disagree. I disagree. She was not having fun hurting black men.
She was on TikTok making fun of them.
You know, she was not making fun of them.
Yeah, well, apparently her job didn't see it that way.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm not one that would go, like, let's say for me, if
I had a fight
and seeing the video, even as a mental health professional, I'm not about to dock somebody to make them lose their job. But I do understand if it happened. I do understand a business making that decision. But for me personally, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that. I mean, it's no different than Little Big Nate. Little Big Nate contacted Channel 2 News on me to try to he publicly wanted me to lose my license in business. And and some people, there were some people in the manosphere that had issues with it. Some didn't care, but you know, he did that.
How long ago was that?
That was actually. Yeah, I was waiting me and Big. Oh, that was back in. That was right before the Manosphere meetup.
Oh, because I haven't seen him online in a while.
Yeah, he lost. He ended up losing his channel trying to make me lose mine. But my whole thing was that he did that,
good.
over a debate, over a simple debate.
See, this whole thing.
He tried to make you lose your channel over a debate.
Yeah, the guy's an asshole. But the thing about it is, it's just that's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about these people who are jumping on YouTube playing talk show hosts. First of all, if you don't have job security, you shouldn't be on here. That's number one. Ramil said it the other day. He was like, "You better stay away from this nigga shit if you're a professional and you've got somebody above you." So, like, even me, I don't allow my business and my personal to mix. I don't want no clients coming on my YouTube, nor do I want them thinking that like I'm talking about them or something, which is why I would never mention names. And I know she didn't mention names, but the problem is she's supposed to be representing a professional mental health, whatever they have, or a clinic or whatever. What she did was a violation of not only the ethics, but on top of that, whatever private contract she had with that company, she violated it. Now, if nobody was harmed, they didn't take a license. She has a right to start her own practice, and anybody who wants to come there can come there. But these other
do you think that she'll get another job?
Let me finish the sentence. These other companies, these other people that are actually putting their name on the line behind somebody like her, they're not going to tolerate it. So when she got fired, they did the right thing, and they did what they felt they needed to do to protect themselves. So that's private contracts, and that's the end of it.
I'm gonna say this. Oh, go ahead, Faith. I'm sorry. I was gonna answer that, but
no, go ahead, D. Darrell.
I think that she gonna find another job, but I would encourage her. If I was in her position, I'd start my. It doesn't cost that much to start your own practice. You could start your own practice in counseling for less than $5,000. All you basically need is an office, depending on the city you're in, and you can contract a credentialing agency for $2,500 to credential you with a bunch of insurance companies to make money. It doesn't. The startup cost to start your own practice is not that high. It's really not. But that's up to her if she wants. Some therapists don't want to have practice. They don't like to deal with the fact that they gotta go through more work to get clients and the referrals and all that different stuff and contracts that you can seek. But I think she's going to find another job. I really think she's going to find another job. Now, I don't know how soon that is.
I hope so.
Because there's a big demand. I mean, I'm telling you all right now, at least, I'm going to say this, at minimal, man, the demand for therapists is so high right now, particularly with virtual therapy after the pandemic. She could sign up with BetterHelp and all types of other online national companies and make the money she was making working at the company she was at. So she has options. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Faith. If even if she gets hired at a company and they find out that she did this, even if they're gonna fire her. They're gonna fire her. Wow. I hate to say it, but if she gets hired at, let's say she works at BetterHelp. If BetterHelp finds out within 8 to 6 months of her working there, and they, because they're an online agency, and they see a video of her doing this, she's fired.
Because remember, they're gonna ask for a reference. They're gonna ask for some kind of reference when she go look for another job. They're gonna ask for some kind of reference.
They're gonna ask her, have you ever been fired from another mental health clinic or whatever it is, however they word the question, and she has to answer yes. And if she tries to answer no, answering no would be grounds to fire her in and of itself.
Yeah, this is going to be a sticky situation for her to explain that, but I hope that she's able to find another job because, like I said, we as a people, we kind of did this to her. I don't really agree. I know, and she has responsibility for herself. I'm not saying that she's without responsibility. So please, I'm not saying that at all. But I will say this: we as Black people, we have got to stop, doing this to one another just because we disagree with something that a person says. Like, we always go for the person's livelihood over the smallest thing. Like D. Darrell said, somebody wanted him to lose his license over a debate. I mean, can we as Black people stop being so petty? When are we going to learn how to have thick skin and allow other people to have their opinion without going for the jugular every time?
Now I wouldn't have
I
done
agree
that.
with that.
I would, me myself personally, I wouldn't have tried to get her fired or anything like that. No, I wouldn't have took it that far. You know what I'm saying? I
I wouldn't
just,
have either.
No.
But she put herself out there, man. And then again, she didn't expect this to go viral. And that's the whole thing about it. She can't even scrub this off the internet. If an employer was to look and find this, you can't. This is everywhere, so it's hard to scrub this off. So to me, she's better off getting her own practice.
Yeah, she's going to be used as a case study from now on of what not to do.
And another thing I'm gonna tell you another thing she did that may get her. She used a Psychology Today reference that made them look bad. And the thing about it is that Psychology Today is the #1 referral system for most therapists that are in private practice.
Yep.
And that was horrible. She gave Psychology Today bad press. She should have never referenced that article. That was horrible.
Matter of fact, since you mentioned that, D. Durrell, certain content creators have did some digging about Psychology Today and the person that wrote that. And I expect some content by the end of the week. They covered that portion effectively now. Because, some people jumped on it because they're talking about lonely men. But some people did some digging on the person that wrote it and some other things. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, that may get sticky too.
Yeah, it's going to get sticky. Hello, Dana. Welcome.
Hey, yeah, I was gonna agree with D. Durrell. Yes, of course, she's gonna get another job. I mean, the psychiatry and psychology field right now is definitely at a deficit. It's a lot of jobs that need filled. Also, not every job does a social media check. So, and it really depends on what state you live in, because majority of the states, if you got fired from your last job, it's illegal for the last job to tell your current job about that. So even if she said, she doesn't have to say she got fired. So, and they're not allowed to look into it either, because that would be illegal. So I think she'll be fine.
But what if they ask for a reference though?
Exactly.
It's really easy to get references. I mean, even jobs that you got fired from, you probably still can find somebody from that job to give you a good reference.
Yeah, because the reference is somebody that you yourself would pick.
There's no way that she's gonna go somewhere else and they're not gonna know about this. There's no way.
I think so. I think just because we're really entrenched in TikTok and everything like that, most people who are doing the hiring and the firing aren't really that privy to it. For instance, her employer now wouldn't even have known about it if people weren't calling and telling them about it.
Yeah,
like,
that's the problem. Yeah.
But I want y'all to know, man, like, and I've had this before. I've had ignorant people on YouTube calling my business trying to get me fired from my own business.
Right. And I work in a similar
and I've also had ignorant people. I've also had ignorant people calling my business, and they threaten. I almost lost a good employee behind an office manager threatening my office manager. So, that's why I don't roll like in certain. I stopped doing a lot of things as far as content a certain way, because there's some people that they don't have a life and they have nothing to lose.
Right.
And they would do anything to try to sabotage what you have going on.
And I want you to even think back to Kevin Samuels. Look how many people were trying to get this man fired, and there was nobody to fire him because he was his own person. And oh, well, where did you get your image consultant degree from? Like, they were trying to figure this dude out, trying to tear him down, couldn't touch him, because the problem was he had built all of that up basically by himself. So as far as a person who's just out here, who's like a regular person who's looking for jobs and stuff, let me tell you something. Whoever doxed her the first time, there ain't nothing to stop them from doing it again. And the issue ultimately is she shouldn't have done what she did. And that's going to be I'm not saying she can't get another job. Grubhub is hiring. I'm just saying they're going to make it very difficult for her to get another practicing clinician style job. They're going to make it very difficult for that.
Yeah,
so
I hope that won't be. I hope she can bounce back and move.
I think she needs
a learning experience for her, and just
I
needs
think that this might have been a learning experience for the young lady. Like I said, I don't think that she might have been practicing too long. I think that she does what all young people do. They're running their mouths, thinking they know everything. I don't think that she should be condemned, for this one incident. People make mistakes. I hope that she bounces back from it. And I don't think that she's going to be working at any Grubhub or anything like that with all of her credentials. I mean, come on.
Oh, well, when somebody says she's not going to be able to get another job, just saying, listen, there's lots of places hiring right now. I just don't know if clinician is one of them, for her.
She'll be able to. I've
You gotta
seen much
yeah.
worse. I've seen much worse.
She's what you call in a prestigious how can I pronounce this? She's in what you call a prestigious career. If I'm right.
Yeah,
So
prestigious.
yeah. So yeah, you got certain things you can, and certain things you can go there. Some things you just can't. Like a police officer. A police officer say something racial against another ethnic group of people, that motherfucker gonna get fired. Yeah.
Did you see that white woman in that state who was saying stuff about how she couldn't stand, I think it was black she was talking about, and they had her right up on there. I'm like, how stupid are these people to be on these social medias talking shit? And the thing about it is their job, and then they put their face on it too. Like, I don't understand that. It's like you got your face on this. You're on there openly talking about how you can't stand these people that you're there to service. It's like, nah, you get fired for that.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. It was like last
I didn't
week.
see it. I didn't see it. What
I
is
trying
it?
to find it, but there was this white chick, and she's a cop, and she's like, yeah, these damn niggas, they're so stupid and shit. I'm like, you're done.
She said it. Oh my goodness! And they got cameras on their bodies nowadays.
Did she put herself? Yeah, she was on the camera. Like, she had put herself on it. I'm like, how stupid are these people?
But I will say this now: there are some of these police officers that do get fired and suspended for a period of years or what have you. But there was one particular white cop, and it was a very famous case. I got to remember this case, but he ended up moving to a whole nother city and state and getting a job again as a police officer. So, never say never.
Yeah, well, a whole nother city and state, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, I mean, listen, you cross state lines for certain jobs. It's like some jobs, they're so desperate to hire. Yeah, they'll take you. It's like there's cops who've killed citizens. Like, there's cops who've killed people, and they go to different states and they get a new job. So, I mean, listen,
right. And right now there's a shortage of police officers, so they're taking pretty much anybody. Wherever there's a shortage, I think that this young lady will be okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about her getting a job. My thing is, hopefully this will be a case study, and they'll explain to people in the future that this is what you don't do when you have this job. I myself, I know numerous professionals, law, finances, this, that, and other, and they don't even mess with social media like that because they already know that it's a direct conflict of interest. So I don't even understand why nobody told her up front. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be on here. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're writing I write my own paychecks. I write my paychecks for employees, and I don't even want them knowing about my shit or what I do extracurricular. The issue is I don't have to worry about somebody finding out, oh, yeah, this is him and this is where he works on Wall Street. Oh, boom, yeah, we're going to make it cost him his job. There's nobody to complain to. But the thing about it is, if you ain't got it like that, then you shouldn't be on here.
Exactly. Yeah. And what really pisses me off, though, as a black woman, is when I see these black women going online and they have these prestigious jobs and positions, and they just take it for granted. You work so hard to get to the point where you are now, and you're just going to throw it away. And then once again, I got to go back to this young lady in these damn tattoos. I mean, how many tattoos did she have?
Well, the tattoos.
Okay, but Faith, you gotta understand. You did say she was young. You gotta understand. She didn't become a therapist overnight. We don't know her background, the environment. There was probably a developmental that could have been a product. I'm not trying to make excuses for her, but the millennial. I mean, she's a millennial, right?
No, she looks younger than that to me.
She's a millennial. A millennial. One of the last.
Yeah.
Millennials.
So
Last
they,
lady.
you know how they operate on a whole different plane when it comes to stuff like that. I know it looks bad. It looks horrible. And to me, I'm gonna be
The
honest with you.
sleeve tattoos are so not sexy. I mean, she had a whole sleeve. I'm not against tattoos. I mean, I'm thinking about maybe getting one myself, but not a sleeve on a woman. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Clients do look at shit like that.
Yes.
They look at tattoos. They look at how you dress. Like for me, when I'm in the office, I dress very professional. You can't depending on the clientele. Like if I'm doing work in the inner city, you can't overdress. But if I'm working in upscale areas, I got to be very conservative. Things like that. I mean, you gotta also look at the clientele that you're working with at times. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Clients, especially, and I'm gonna say this, especially black women or they talk about you. If they see you looking a certain kind of way, they will talk. They're gonna talk about you to your staff or something. I've seen that happen. I've seen clients complain about the dress of other professionals and stuff like that. That happens.
Yeah, I think she did a lot of grandstanding in her videos. I mean, she's throwing her leg up and then she's shaking her butt and I'm just like, what is going on? You are all over the place.
They said she had multiple videos before that of her shaking her ass and twerking. So that, oh no.
No, what got me was when you look in the background. You remember the New Yorker when they showed the woman on the cover doing the webcam video, but her room was a mess. You remember that New Yorker cover?
I think I do. I remember that.
I think I do know what you're talking. Yeah, I remember
well,
that.
when you look in this chick's background, her room was a mess. Like the drawers are fucking half open, the clothes are coming out of them, and I'm like, yo, listen, you didn't. But just look at the background.
I think it's like Dee Durrell said, it's a millennial thing because my daughters, they're like zennials, and I noticed that their rooms, like in their houses, they don't live with me, but they'll come online and I'll look, in their background because I'm a nosy mom, and I'm like, why is it all messy over there? I think it's a young people thing. They don't care.
Nope.
And that's not a good look.
The show ain't.
That's not a good look.
I'll be honest, man. I hate to say it, millennials are lazy, man.
When I do these webcam things, I'm on the Starship Enterprise. Like if you look at my background, I use that virtual background thing. I don't want you seeing what's behind me.
Yeah, you know what? At least do that. Now that makes sense. If it's messed up, just put a background or something back there. But these kids don't care. They'll be like, "Oh, don't worry, don't mind my background." And then the other young people will be on there just laughing it up with them. Everybody's just ignoring the dirt. I'm like, what is going on?
She had a bonnet on too, right?
No, she had a bonnet. She had her natural.
Oh, she had her hair. Oh, that's right. She did have her hair.
Box braids, whatever you have, like thin braids.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah, she had box braids.
But you see, the sad thing is, it's just like what I was saying. I think she needs therapy. Like, I don't know what her marital status is, but from what I saw on her Instagram, it looked like she has a son. It appeared to me she's like a single mom. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's how it appeared to me.
She didn't have a ring on. She was not married.
Yeah, it appeared to me she was. It appeared to me
she's not married.
Yeah, it appeared to me she was a single mom, so she probably is in need of some therapy or something. But see, that right there just tells you what is her mental state, and she's supposed to be the one giving you therapy. What is her mental state? Dee
Durrell brought it up. She was just bringing some of her little personal issues and problems that she probably dealt with in her dating. It's her dating life.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me, man. When you start saying this about black men, when you're saying black men in general don't have, what does she use? Emotional vocabulary. She basically, from a psychological standpoint, she was saying you were dumb. Yep. That you don't have a vocabulary to speak. You don't have a vocabulary to say you're sad, happy, mad, confused, irritated. That's basically what she was stating, which I felt was that was offensive. You can't to say somebody doesn't have an emotional. That means that you don't know words to express your feeling at the moment.
which is hypocritical because she was cursing and using all different types of horrible language to express herself to her audience. So
Profanity.
And yeah, she called women bitch. She called women bees, niggas this, and mother effers this. I was like, what the hell?
And then no, but when you watch one of the last two videos she put on her Instagram, she was like, "Oh yeah, well you busted it open at the club, you just gonna die." And I'm like, "What?"
You know what,
I was
guys?
watching
I
her
hate to say
video,
this, but in a way, I'm fearful that this, because I don't think she's gonna stop. Being that she got this fame or whatever that was negative or positive, but it is publicity. I don't think she's gonna stop at this.
She's unstable.
No, and
I
let me
don't
tell you
think she's gonna stop.
Deidre, she it don't make no sense she stopped, because let's be honest.
She did.
A lot of people said the reason why I said it's not gonna stop, because a lot of people, they create these I would say channels like she has created on TikTok, and the purpose is to grow another file for another revenue stream. Now, I heard they said she goes live on TikTok because she has almost 250,000 followers.
Oh wow!
Cash App there, and so somebody's going to support, and mostly 9 10 times it's going to be either a simp dude and a lot of
it's going to be men, because she's not a bad looking woman.
No, I mean, well, some men are going to support, but I think women are going to probably vouch for a little more.
Let's see,
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be men supporting when she starts shaking that ass and shit. You know how black so these Negroes are.
Yeah, man.
You know what? The young lady needs to get in the gym. For her to be young, 28, she is flabby. I was not that flabby at 28. I had tone.
Faith, come on,
you be surprised nowadays. Faith, for a lot of bodies now, for certain millennials.
Faith, you going in too deep.
See, one thing you got to understand: activity was taken away depending what year you're born. Physical activity. So depending where they at, you could tell their body that they were not really had much physical activity up to where her age is now.
I mean, that's how my body looks now, and I'm sitting up here. I'm like, man, I am flabby, and she's sitting up here like more flabby than me. I'm like, wait a minute, 28.
Yeah,
she's 28. I feel bad for her. I hate to see when she get to be 40.
Well, I just looked at her. I looked at her TikTok. She has 255,000 subscribers, but on TikTok, and she has like close to like 3 million views. Here's the problem though. TikTok really don't pay you. It's not like that's YouTube. If she had YouTube, if she was doing those kind of numbers on YouTube, yeah, she'd be making a nice monthly chunk of change.
Is she on TikTok Instagram?
Don't pay like
that. Be honest with you, she might have other social media out there. Trucker, no one has really investigated.
They're gonna shut those down.
Instagram pay pretty good.
Well, it's like this. You might be right, because I don't think TikTok, if you click on any video, there's no actual commercial. So obviously how they make money is they have to do the lives. So yeah, you're right. So if she's not doing lives, she's not making no money.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get rid of TikTok right now because they try to call it a Chinese data mining thing. And the reality is it's taking away all of Facebook's subscribers. And Facebook is angry about that. So Facebook
has no control. They're not going to be able to get rid of that.
Well,
no,
but
here's the problem. Here's the problem.
If Facebook would pay, then it would be different.
No, but here's the problem, though. Facebook,
but TikTok doesn't pay.
But understand something. Facebook is backed by the U.S. government. TikTok is backed by the Chinese government. And right now, we basically are trying to put ourselves in a Cold War with China. And the reality is, the U.S. government, they've been constantly telling the U.S. government they want to take down TikTok. And the only way they can justify it is to say that TikTok is a security risk. That's how they justify it. They call it a national security risk. So TikTok could disappear at any time.
You mean in the United States?
In the United States, because they've already told you, if you work at a government institution, like if you work in certain government buildings, you're not even allowed to have TikTok. In fact, you're not allowed to have most social medias on your phone. But the reality is, the special interests here are trying to get our government to take TikTok away from our audience because our kids have left Facebook and they're leaving Instagram. And they're going to TikTok for everything now.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem because I agree with you, Big Truck. Because TikTok, we know is run by the Chinese, and I said this earlier.
Exactly.
And think about it, they got 1 billion users now last year. So now the government, if they're really serious, but we have this administration is question right now. that the next person that comes in line, they might make that possible. I think did Trump one time was decided to really get rid of TikTok when he was in office? Trump?
Well, no, but first of all, I don't know if you've been paying attention to Facebook. Facebook has lost like over $600 million. Their stock went from like $380.
Oh yeah, the metaverse killed the stock.
Well, no. Metaverse didn't kill their stock. There were two things that killed their stock. One was the fact TikTok's out there. The second thing was that Apple and Google started making privacy settings to make it almost impossible for them to advertise to you based on location data because they won't share the data. So the reason why our government is right now ramping up its rhetoric against TikTok is because they're trying to say that it's a national security threat because the Chinese are collecting your data. That's the argument that they're trying to make. And the reality is, it's not that the Chinese are collecting your data. You're actively giving it to them when you push play.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I don't do TikTok, but damn, I don't.
See, the sad thing is, when you look at these social medias, you have to understand, you're not really dealing with social media. You're dealing with data mining operations. YouTube,
and remember, data is gold.
Data is gold.
And here's what I think. How I knew this and got to the realization when I lost amount of data on my drive and I tried to reclaim it, they were going to charge me close to over $2,000.
That's crazy.
So it tells you. And I asked the IT professional why is so, because it is gold. They need to know what you put it in, it's like another digital watch eye on you, on your activity. So if they know everything about you by your data, they can easily market to you easier. Hell, talking on any device, especially on Google.
They can market to you. They can market to your friends.
If you mention something that you're looking for, you think of something, you lo and behold, you're on, let's say, Facebook, it'll pop up as an advertisement.
Yep.
See that?
I was on
I see that a lot.
I was on eBay looking for one thing. Next thing you know, I was on Facebook and they constantly showed me ads about some shit that I was looking at on eBay. And I was like, wait a minute, how do they know what I'm looking? And they're tracking every single thing you're doing. So for them to watch these kids leaving Facebook and going over to TikTok, which is Chinese owned, they ain't trying to have that. But the problem is they know if they try to take it away, these kids will rebel.
It's crazy.
Because have you ever seen these kids? These kids are sitting on the bus. These kids are staring down at those phones like their brain is literally in the damn phone. And they're just going from TikTok vid to TikTok vid. It's worse than you remember when they had that shit where you had to do videos that were only 6 seconds long? What was it called? Link.
Was it Timber? Timber?
Timber? No, not Timber. It was something else. It began with an L. You had to. It was a 6 second video limit, and everybody was doing these challenges and all this stupid shit. Well, TikTok took that
Vine?
right over.
Was it Vine?
Vine. I don't know why I think it was an L. Vine videos. Yes.
Yeah. I heard about Vine, but Vine never took off because, like I said, it was an app that didn't have no real actual direction. But when
it started losing share.
Yeah, well, that too. What TikTok did with their marketing strategy, they said, let's include music while people are sharing. And I think that's what drew the app the way it is. You could play copyright music. And I'm surprised that the Chinese got away with this. But because I think they own some shares up here in America, they must own something around it to really get away playing music. But I think one thing, Big Truck, if you look at music in general, if you play some over a certain period of time, you will be hit with a copyright strike. So
30 seconds.
So imagine you do an upload like TikTok. It actually beats out that close to that 30-second threshold. So you can get away with it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. As long as it's kept extremely short, you don't get hit with the copyright. Even Facebook, for a certain period of time, if you play a video that's got music in it, Facebook cuts you down. But let me just be perfectly honest. I am really happy to see TikTok kill off Facebook because I hate Facebook and Zuckerberg, and I wanted to see something take him down. I was desperate to see something take him down, and I never imagined it would be TikTok. But
he's
TikTok,
been on top for so long, though.
Yeah, well, you know what? My thing is, Facebook has done so much damage to this country. And when you think about all these kids who committed suicide over this shit, or you think about all the fights and everything that has happened, all the violence surrounding it, that they will completely never, ever be forced to pay for. I was like, man, I wish something would take this bastard down. And sure enough, it came right along, too. Came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. And I'm so glad that it's here.
Well, one thing I did want to mention, just getting back to the topic real quick, I wanted to ask D. Darrell, what percentage do you think of your clientele are Black women, and what percentage are Black men?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say about
mostly men or mostly women?
It's mostly women because
of course
most Black men. I'm gonna say this. Black men are going to be the least likely to not come to therapy, and it takes some prompting. And like I may have a Black guy call my office and ask questions about therapy. He may call 2 or 3 times, and it may be 3 months from his initial call before he actually comes in, as opposed to other groups or even Black women who will just set an appointment and come in. Straight Black men and gay Black men, it takes months before they decide to come in and do therapy. That's kind of what it is, how it is at my practice. So percentage wise, I'm gonna say my clientele is probably 25% Black. I'm gonna say it's probably I'm gonna say maybe 15% Black female and 10% Black male, maybe a little less for Black men. I have a diverse group. Like I have it's primarily white, Black, and Hispanic. So I'm gonna say I probably have about, I'm gonna say 25% Black, maybe about 40% white, and the other maybe 30% Hispanic. So it's kind of mixed across the board. But so I have more non-Black people that I counsel than Black people.
Mostly mostly older or mostly younger clients?
Of all ages. It's of all ages.
Okay.
But let me ask you, D, it's not because that non-Black people have more problems than we do, but it's probably because Black people have a problem seeking therapy, and Black men in particular, like Black women, we do at least try to work on ourselves. I do see the sisters trying.
But Black women are more open to therapy. Now I'm gonna say this: older Black women are not as open as like I'm saying maybe 55 and up. They're not as open as younger, like say in their 40s or 30s and 20s and so forth. They're open, but older Black women are not as open as other groups as far as demographic of Black women. But for Black men as a whole, but I'm gonna say this: the issue that one of the biggest issues that I had, even if Black men may be difficult to get there, but I think that when Black men decide to do therapy, for me as a Black, maybe because I'm a Black man is more relatable, but I don't have problems getting Black men to express themselves. There are some that may be hesitant to talk and speak, but I've never had like huge problems getting Black men to express how they feel. But I have heard other groups say that Black men could be somewhat unresponsive in therapy. Like I even had Black women would say that. But as a Black man, I don't have a problem with Black men expressing themselves. I don't. I have a problem with getting them to once they commit. To me, the problem is getting them to commit to therapy. Once they make their mind up and commit, the therapeutic process is to me is not that difficult. It's just to get them to decide to do it is the issue that I have seen. Now,
let me ask you. I'm sorry.
Okay, what I can say is this. Now when it comes to, I look at it from 2 perspectives. One, if a person comes to me strictly on relationship or mental health issues by themselves, they're open. I do find in couples, when I do couples therapy or marriage therapy, there are instances where I do see black men having an issue expressing themselves to their wife or their girlfriend about relationship issues. I do
Well,
see that does happen.
You
But
just answered my question. I was
yeah,
just going to ask you that.
yeah, that does happen, but it's not at the level that she was saying. Like, these guys are just. I've seen it. I've seen black men. I don't care if you've been with your wife for 5 years, 30 years, 20 years. They have difficulty expressing issues relating to the problems in a relationship, and a lot of black men can be very dismissive towards it, or they just act like it didn't happen, or like pretend that we don't have these problems. Now I've seen that. I have seen that before. But
Do any of them seem to be intimidated by their partners?
in what way? What do you mean, like by their success?
Yeah, just intimidated by their partners.
Yeah,
As far as like her being overbearing, I'm
gonna tell you the biggest thing that I see is that I've seen a lot of highly successful, educated women getting with guys that didn't graduate or barely don't have no skills. I've seen black men at that lower level be intimidated by a successful partner. I've seen that. Now, but as far as a guy that's halfway got his stuff together, or he stable minded, I don't see any intimidation with that. But what I do see is that this could be a sister that got she got a career going on, 10, 15 years, educated, college educated, and this guy may have a GED or something. That's why I'm understanding. There are black women who do date these type of guys that are at that level, and the problem is that these guys are intimidated by women that are obviously doing better than them, and that there is some timid. Now, and I may say on some of this is the issue I have with black women choosing to date a Pookie and Ray Ray per se, if that lack of a better word. The issue with that is that when they date this type of guy, they expect them to be a leader and all this other stuff, like within a month or something, like, or within a year, and that's just not gonna happen. The way you met him, particularly how he is as a person, he's not changing, and they want that type of guy to change to something else. And it's very difficult for that to happen. If you want that kind of man, then that's the kind of man you need to date. Don't pick someone and try to develop them and coerce them to be what you want them to be. That's a mistake that a lot of black women make with dating.
Yes, dating below their level. That's the same thing that I said, and I think that it is a mistake for black women to date below their level because they're desperate. The desperation gets to them.
And the thing about it is, a lot of guys like that. Like I'm gonna say this. Like, I've had situations, they date these guys, right? And the guy don't want to change. They'll flat out tell, and that's why, like, when she was talking about some of these guys that get bold and say, "This is who I am. You didn't have a problem fucking me when you," and they'll be blunt with it, straight up saying it, like, "You didn't have a problem with fucking with me when you first met me like this, so why is the problem now? This is who I am."
And they have a valid point.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it goes to show that a lot of ladies know what to find and what not to find, and I think, and you were on the other brothers panel. I'm not gonna mention it. You already mentioned already that it's all about control, Darrell. At the end of the day, you get me?
Oh, absolutely.
If it wasn't about control, if black men are in these universities and doing what they have to do, I mean, you gotta make a life with someone that's in the same institution, or if he has a trade, you make a life. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, we don't expect perfection, but if you're gonna deal with a dude that's unfortunate ambition, and he doesn't want nothing anything decent by himself, and he's hitting the streets mostly. You ask for that because it's something that you take and see that, as long as he has some dicking me down and I control him, it's better I go about that than deal with a man that might got somewhat his shit together. That's me.
Yeah, the game is control, and the thing about it is they're not going to date guys on their level because for the most part they can't find guys on their level because the guys on their level are getting women below their level, so it never actually works out.
But the reality is that a lot of those guys on that level are basically married really young.
Exactly,
they actually married young. They like guys that they basically swept up in college. En route to, I'm saying between 25 and 30 is actually the spot. If you're trying to get, because if they not married by 30, 35 on up, I'm saying particularly a lot of those guys that they're really looking for, the time to get them is pretty much maybe a year or two or so, whether it's in college or after college. And then after that, the percentage of finding those kind of guys after maybe 30, it goes down because a lot of those guys are married before they're 30 years old.
Yep.
So basically, you're saying if a black woman is in college, she should be looking for her husband also in college.
Yes. I would tell, and I've seen it. Most women that I know that I went to college with, and people that I know, they found their husbands in college before they graduated, or maybe a year or two after they graduated, per se. But you know what? The thing about it is, for those type of guys, the work is done early so that when they're older, their career is just basically working for it. It's just working automatically for them. Like for myself, I put in a lot of work educational wise. I went to school 7 years straight, nonstop, to get my bachelor's and my master's. By the time I got out of school, I was still young. I was like 24 when I finished with everything, right? But that time,
you mastered at 24 as well. You got a master at 24.
Yeah, I got a master's at 24. Yeah, I was actually going to go get my. I decided not to because
I need it because you got your own profession. You're
but I had kids and stuff, so I wanted to get married. And the thing during that time, I knew I was getting ready to get married. I had kids and stuff, and I was like, I'm not about to take away from my family, be absent from my family, pursuing a PhD when basically the PhD that I was looking at, if I owned my own business, it wouldn't have made financial sense for me to get that PhD. I could make just as much money being my own boss. But like all of my friends that are professionals, I got friends I got a friend that's a chiropractor. I got a friend that has an MBA. All of us were, and other friends, all of my friends in college, we were married before we were 28 years old. I got married at 27. Most of my friends got married 25, 26. They were all married before 30 years old. It was no, I'm 38, 39, and I'm finally deciding to settle down. No. Because more guys like that know what they want early. They know what they want. They don't go around playing around wasting time. You know what I'm saying? We're about career. If you're family orientated, you're going to be family orientated earlier. So you're going to be more open to being married earlier.
So you weren't trying to go to the local high school and find a wife?
Really? Stop, babe. Stop.
I'm just saying, a lot of these guys think that they have to marry 15 years below them in order to get this quote unquote submission,
No, I would not dare do that. No. But to me, like, I mean, you can only, I'm like this, and my mind says this, you can only play around so much. You can only see so many type of women. So whatever. I mean, yes, you can go travel, do all that stuff, but there's only so many personalities, so many types. After a while, you got to look at how you run your body ragged and the money you spending in pursuit of all of that. It just don't make any sense for me. You know, it's gonna be a time when that's gonna get old. You want to settle down. You know, guys running around. Notice the pump and dump guy. I'm talking to 35, 40. These guys are broke. These are not guys that are high level guys. Most of them are not.
Well, it's virtually impossible for them to actually build anything because they don't have families and they're not married.
Exactly.
See, the shame of it is most married couples that actually stay married, they build wealth. But these dudes that are on their own and doing everything for themselves and pumping and dumping, they can never build anything. They can't do it. It's completely contrary to what that you'd actually want.
Yeah.
And also, to me, when you're young, you're building together. Like, I don't like the whole dating coach thing where people buy into this idea that you could just get with a guy and he's just going to sit you down just like that. If you're both young, you're both starting out with hardly anything. So you're going to have to build with your man. Like, I don't understand what this whole talking point is. I mean, we don't even have that many black men that could sit their woman down even at the age of 40. Like a large percentage of black men are not, at that income level where they're doing it like that. Majority of our black men are maybe middle income. Right. So if you're a woman, you're not going to be able to rest on your laurels. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to help build with him.
But you know what? That right there is the problem. If you're going to base, submission to the man of the house on exactly how much money he's making, that right there is the mistake. That's like saying, yeah, if you make $50,000, I'll listen to what you say. But if you make $49,999, I'm not. It's like, come on, that's ridiculous. And that's the reason why black families don't stay together. Meanwhile, these Jews do. These Asians do. They continue to build above you, and you're always behind them. So that right there. That's you're talking about these dudes who want to go and find submission from women who are younger than them. That's the reason why they're doing it, and that's the reason why even with these passport bros, because the dating coaches, or we call them dating roaches, the dating coaches have lost. The passport bros are killing it right now, and it's been a long.
You think the passport brothers are killing it?
The passport brothers are killing it.
I don't know about that.
They're not killing it.
So
who are they marrying? They're not marrying anybody when they go over there.
The dating coaches know that they've lost. They're convincing these dudes to go out and get their passports. These dudes are going overseas. They're getting wives younger than them, and they're getting wives. Yes, they. Well, I'll tell you like this. I got an uncle in my family, for one, and I know a couple of other dudes, but I got an uncle in my family.
Okay, all right.
No.
Yeah,
Well, you're saying,
right.
Okay,
You're naming one, but
story. I got an uncle
hold on, Big Truck.
Who went
See, now you're capping. You're capping
right now.
Okay, I got an uncle too. Okay, and I think everybody has an uncle. Okay,
I don't know why you explain it, because I'm telling you right now, I got an uncle right now.
And I have an uncle.
I got an uncle right now who went to Dominican Republic. He got a wife 14 years younger. I got
an auntie too.
2011. They got married in 2011. And they got 3 kids to this day. They live less than 3 miles away from me. They've got the biggest house on the block. He's retired NYPD. She's making $85,000 a year. They're taking care of them kids. I've talked about the story. I put photos out there on the breakdown.
But Big Truck, you do know that's not the. No.
Listen,
Big Truck. Hold on, Big Truck, listen to me. Hold on. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Big Truck. Listen to this.
Yeah, no, listen. There's some Pookie and Ray that go down there.
That's a slow clap. Big Truck. That is a slow clap. Good for your uncle. Good for your one uncle.
I know at least several guys got married.
Yeah, now you know several guys. I know several guys too.
I started out by saying that. But you were busy talking over me because you don't want to hear, because you know I'm right.
Big Truck, please stop.
Anyway, so the bottom line is their marriage is working just fine. No black woman is going to say that I'm wrong because I travel too. And when I travel, I get that butt too.
Okay,
Clapping for Big Truck.
Let me say this. I'm gonna say this. I look at it from two perspectives when it comes to the travel. I look at the guys that I know that travel that ain't on social media, and I look at these quote unquote travel guys on social media. It's two different things. The guys that I see on social media, they not getting married. Now the guys like your uncle, the guys that like your uncle and other guys that I know that travel abroad, some of those guys do get married. But but this whole thing about I think that this thing about the traveling, I get it. If you want to go and find, you can do that. You can go to other countries, and yes, you could find someone that you feel compatible with. And hey, if that's what you want to celebrate and do, hey, that's you. I can't tell you not to do that.
Thank you.
But we not talking about the cons of going out, the pros and cons of going out there. Because there's certain things that these guys not talking about, the tricking and everything else that go on that these guys are doing.
Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about that one. What is the con of an American guy going overseas and tricking? What's the con for that?
But these women are.
No. I asked him to tell me what is a con of tricking. What's a con of that?
Okay, well, I'm part of the conversation too.
I asked him to tell me a con. I asked him.
Oh, okay. Well, can I say this? Can I say this real quick?
You're giving him a lot of time to think about what he's going to say, but I was asking him directly. What's a con?
I did content on this. The cons of going out to tricking is that, number one, you present an inflated sense of self that's not necessarily reflective of what you can do in the United States. Look, I'm not.
Wait, what?
Police. I'm not trying to dig. Hold on, wait. You asked me to answer the question.
Okay, all right. I'm listening to you.
Okay, so the thing about it is, you can trick in the United States. You ain't got to travel 2,000 miles to trick. And I live and many of these guys on here, like myself, I live in Houston. This is an international city. New York, Miami, LA, international cities. You can find whatever nationality of woman you want in those cities. You ain't got to go traveling 2,000 miles to go find that.
But what if they want to travel though?
I mean, but see, okay, you're right. They want to travel, but let's not put this facade about I'm coming to learn the culture and the museums and the theater. Come on, Big Truck. Let's be real, man.
No, I am being real. Like, for instance, excuse me, the new you're familiar with the new dude who's out there, Austin Holloman, right? I saw this dude have a whole goddamn conversation with this Brazilian chick in Portuguese. Obviously, he learned the language.
Come on, Big Truck. You know they not learning that language.
I lived in China and I learned Mandarin before getting a Chinese woman.
Big Truck.
I literally, hold on. I learned Mandarin and I took classes in Fudan University before getting a Chinese woman. So how you gonna tell me I didn't go there for the culture?
I didn't say you didn't do that. I'm saying the majority of these guys, again, I talked about.
I agree.
Those on social media versus those that's not on. Now,
listen. Any black man who I hear about going to Sosua or something, obviously I know he's just there for the ass. I know that.
Brazil, Colombia. Come on, man.
Okay, hold on. You got to remember, some of these dudes are expatriates and they go down to these countries because they have to work. Some of their businesses send them to these other countries. It's just like black guys who go to Philippines. I've met black men in Philippines while I was in Philippines who were there on work, some who were there retired. So the thing about it is, I don't dig police either. These guys got whatever their story is, whether they're there because of their job, whether they're there because they're retired, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, as long as it works for them, I'm all for it.
How many of those guys in the travel, the Passport Brothers married?
There's a couple of them. There was a dude on yesterday. Excuse me. Yeah, wow. We were on. Excuse me. If you go right now and you look on the breakdown, A Woman's Perspective with Sister George and C. Rose, we were on there. I was on there with them 2 days ago. there were at least 4 black men. Excuse me. There were 4 black men, and there was one older guy who cammed up. And you can look at the video. The video's right there.
And they
And
married.
there was one. He was married to a chick who was 10 years younger than him, and that was just one guy. There were 3 other black men on that panel who were married, including Pablo Fresco.
I don't believe them.
What? No. It's not about you believing it. Go right now.
Did their wives show up? Did they?
Their wives were there. The guy was on camera with his wife.
I'm gonna have to watch that big game.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it
now to the breakdown, a woman's perspective. And if you look back 2 days to their last video, you'll see me on there and you'll see them on there. There were 4 dudes, 4 black men, all of which were married.
But irregardless of all of your anecdotal stories, hold on. And irregardless to your anecdotal stories, can you let someone else talk?
I gave you the proof. You're trying to dismiss it.
Okay, what proof?
Your uncle. Log on right now and look it up.
Your uncle. The breakdown and the one guy that had his wife on camera.
There were 4 of us, and I told you to look it up.
Once again, I don't believe all of them, but I will tell you this. I will tell you what I do believe. I do believe.
All you got to do is look it up.
Hold on. I do believe in the stats. Now there are stats on interracial marriages and international marriages here in the United States. Do you want to know the percentage of Americans overall that marry internationally?
Okay, what I want you to do is I'm going to say yes. I want you to share it. I want you to share those stats, and he's going to put them up on the screen so we can all see them.
No.
I don't want you guessing, and I don't want you pulling stats out of your butt.
This is what we're going to do because I'm already lengthy in this.
He's a little tired now, right?
I enjoyed the conversation.
The topic for another day, but it is interesting. I definitely want to hear more about this.
I'm one thing.
Okay.
As much as I want to see stats right now, I'm not gonna do it right now.
He's tired. You're tired. I got you.
Yeah, and I wish we do talk, but this is off the topic. But like I said, but
if you're ever interested in the stats, is less than 30%. So that's the reason why I know you guys are capping. You're capping.
All right, so let's do this. Big Truck, come on, Big Truck, and everybody. You know, Faith has a channel. She'll show it on her channel.
Let's see it.
I'll do a stream about it because you guys, I would love to just debunk all of you because you're sitting up here like you're going over there and coming back in trolls as husbands, and you're going over there to have sex. Okay, this is sex. This is sex tourism mostly. Not some. Most of you all. Most of you all are.
Show you that.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right. This is good. Any closing remarks?
It was fun being. I'll just go real quick. It was fun being up here with you. And as far as that chick, hopefully things do work out for her. But the thing about it is, I just expect this to be a learning experience or case study for other people as to what not to do when you're involved in professional services. You make the other professionals look bad. Thanks a lot, and you have a good night.
All right, thank you. Catch you on the next Slash Chain, Big Truck, like always. Thank you.
Faith? I'll go next. Yeah. Well, what I'll say is this. I'm very disappointed in how the young lady conducted herself. However, I do give grace for her age. She's young, and she probably hasn't been in the field that long. As Dee Darrell said, it should be a learning experience for the young lady. I really hope the best for her, like everybody else has said. I really wish that Black people would stop doing this to each other as far as us doxing one another and getting each other fired off our jobs, going after our livelihoods, because we can't take listening to somebody else with a different opinion. And with that, I have to say thanks, Chaos, for having me up. I really enjoyed myself. Thanks, Dee Darrell, for coming up. I enjoyed you, and you as well, Mr. Big Truck. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you on my channel. Peace, guys.
All right.
Take it. Dee Darrell?
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Glad you had me on. I definitely have enjoyed commenting on this particular topic itself. Again, as I stated, she on all fronts, from a professional standpoint, I mean, she just crossed the line from a business standpoint as an employer. I personally would have fired her if she was working for me. Understand the purpose of that. And I just want to say, man, you know, if she would have spoken about anything other than her field, I would have maybe looked upon this differently. But unfortunately, this is the risk that people take on social media when saying things, you know, off kilter, saying things, you know, recklessly, and you know, she has to be held accountable to that. Other than that, man, very entertaining live stream. Man, I really enjoyed it. Glad you had me up. I'm glad you sent me the link to come in, because I was basically doing some other things, and I'm glad I came in. So appreciate it, man. You have a good day.
Yeah,
Good night.
and I tell people this is the preview of when you do your live stream on this. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
people.
my live stream tomorrow at 1:00. Check it out.
All right, cool. Thank you, D-Darrell.
Peace.
And I'd like to thank everybody for listening to today's stream. As always, this is the Chaos Rain channel. It gets chaotic, as you could tell. Yes, indeed. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the red button, the top notification bell, when I go live or upload on the Chaos Rain channel here on YouTube. Also, follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. Add me on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And like always, join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel. That is on the About section here on the Chaos Rain channel. And that is all. I mean, all the links. You know what it is, people. The chaos. Bring.